give the same experience to the girls in the program. And so that really also instilled in me a sense of responsibility, that because I had these people who empowered me, it was my responsibility to pay it forward to other girls. And so that's what has really gingered me to starting the lead camp in 2001, and then starting the 10 Million African Girls program this week. Junior Achievement has been in Africa for over 40 years, and over that period of time, we've reached over 5 million young people. And the drive to focus on girls is not to stop serving boys. We have programming that are 90%, 70% boys. And what we want to do is really elevate girls to make sure that at least 50% of the girls we're serving, because we believe that Africa cannot reach its full potential if 50% of its youth population are not able to access high quality education. And so our goal is to really get all of Africa to reach its potential. So when I first brought JA to Nigeria, I realized the company program, our entrepreneurship education program, when we took it to schools, and we pitched it as business training. You're going to set up a business, you're going to make money. It got a lot of enthusiasm, from the boys. Yes, business, we're going to make money. And girls participated, but they were timid and quiet for the first couple of weeks, where they're learning different aspects of business, finance, marketing, sales, production. The novelty wears off, and really the people who stand and take the business across the finish line are those who are really committed to it. And now it's ready, and I'm excited to be launching it on International Women's Day on March 8th. So 10 million African girls, 10 MAG is what we're calling it. So it's a campaign, and the campaign is to get as many people who are committed to this vision to contribute towards making it happen. So to the girls, I congratulate you that you have come this far, and to let you know that there's nothing stopping you from achieving your dream. Your dreams are valid. You are valid. I see you. I've been in your seat, and I know that all things are possible beyond your wildest imaginations, and that we are here to support you in achieving that dream. And so do hard things. Don't be scared. Dream big, and we'll be here to catch you in those moments that you fall, and we'll dust off your wings and let you fly again. I am Simi Nwogugu. I'm the president and CEO of Junior Achievement Africa, and this is my story. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, to a very strong, independent woman who had 5 children and a full-time job. And from her, I learned how to be a strong woman. And so growing up in that household was very empowering for me. And I went to an all-girls high school, Queen's College. It's a public federal government school in Lagos, Nigeria, that also was very empowering. It, really exposed me to different women across Africa who are doing wonderful exploits, and made me want to be one of them. And then I went to a women's college in the US, which really also was inspiring. So there is a thread in my story of being exposed to different women who have empowered me along my journey. And so in creating the lead camp, I wanted to give the same experience to the girls in the program. And so that really also instilled in me a sense of responsibility, that because I had these people who empowered me, it was my responsibility to pay it forward to other girls. And so that's what has really gingered me to starting the lead camp in 2001 and then starting the 10 Million African Girls program this week. Junior Achievement has been in Africa for over 40 years, and over that period of time, we've reached over 5 million young people. And the drive to focus on girls is not to stop serving boys. We have programming that are 90%, 70% boys. And what we want to do is really elevate girls to make sure that at least 50% of the girls we're serving. Because we believe that Africa cannot reach its full potential if 50% of its youth population are not able to access high quality education. And so our goal is to really get all of Africa to reach its potential. So when I first brought JA to Nigeria, I realized the company program, our entrepreneurship education program, when we took it to schools, and we pitched it as business training, you're going to set up a business, you're going to make money. It got a lot of enthusiasm, from the boys. Yes, business, we're going to make money. And girls participated, but they were timid and quiet for the first couple of weeks where they're learning different aspects of business, finance, marketing, sales, production. The novelty wears off, and really the people who stand and take the business across the finish line are those who are really committed to it. And now it's reaching it on International Women's Day on March 8th. So 10 million African girls, 10 MAG is what we're calling it. So it's a campaign, and the campaign is to get as many people who are committed to this vision to contribute towards making it happen. So to the girls, I congratulate you that you have come this far, and to let you know that there's nothing stopping you from achieving your dream. Your dreams are valid. You are valid. I see you. I've been in your seat, and I know that all things are possible beyond your wildest imaginations, and that we are here to support you in achieving that dream. And so, do hard things. Don't be scared. Dream big, and we'll be here to catch you in those moments that you fall, and we'll dust off your wings and let you fly again. Join the 10 Black Movement. 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 There's more of a need to empower women, and more importantly, girls. Because if you're able to show a girl that she can do anything and everything she sets her mind to, the world will be a better place. So we want you to join the 10 Man movement. That's all. It's actually quite simple. Any which way you can help the movement, we would appreciate it. So simple. Join the 10 Mag movement. When you watch this, use the hashtag 10 Mag and support a girl today. Let's reach 10 million. Join the 10 Mag movement. Magnifiers support 10 million African girls. So what are you waiting for? Join the 10 million African girls movement right now. Right now. One of a kind, never
Can anyone hear me now? Awesome, awesome. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? How are you all? How are you? How is school going? I know a lot of you are in school at the moment, joining in. Thank you so much for joining today. So we're going to start very shortly. I would introduce myself. My name is Feolami Awe Joseph. I am the founder of the Educational Guidance Development Initiative, and I'm also part of the Junior Achievement Nigeria family. My journey with Junior Achievement started about 7, 8 years ago. When I was still in secondary school. And it's a pleasure for me to be here with you all to be moderating today's session. Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and I know we are all girls here, we're all young girls who want to know how can we make a difference in our society, how can we make an impact in the lives of people around us. So today, we're going to be learning from remarkable women who are making changes and making an impact in the environment. And today's topic is going to be about leading change, her voice, power her voice, women leading change. Before we start, I would just like to go over a couple of ground rules so that you know how you can interact with this session if you have questions later on, or if maybe you would like to answer anything. So if you have any questions throughout the session, because it's going to be a lengthy session with remarkable women, you can write your questions in the chat box. I know that some of us are in our classes, so maybe your teacher, or you could appoint a class prefect to write on behalf of everybody, and then you could put your name or your initials beside it, or you could use the raise hand feature on Zoom during the Q&A section. And also later on, we're going to send a form anonymously for the fireside chat session, which will be taking place later on. Also, for the AI session later today, we'll be in groups of 5 for hands-on usage of the AI tool ChatGPT. So this is just an overview of some of the things that we're going to be having today. So something to remember throughout this session, make sure that you have an open mind, make sure you are interested, and make sure you respect the process, because you're going to be learning so much from our remarkable speakers today. Once again, my name is Feolami Awe Joseph. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you all today. And we're going to be talking about Power Her Voice, Women Leading Change. And we're going to have two remarkable speakers who will be joining me today. We'll be having Miss Tinoade Daniel and Miss Aderonke Ajibola. So sorry for mispronouncing your name. I will be reading out their bios now before I let them to come on out. Then we can start the conversation. So I'll be starting with Miss Tinoade Daniel. Tinoade Daniel is a dynamic chartered human resource manager and operations leader with a strong track record of excellence in human resources, real estate management, administration, and wellness innovation. She holds a bachelor's degree in English and Literary Studies from Ekiti State University, leveraging her strong foundation in communication to build an impactful career across multiple sectors. Currently serving as the head of human resources and operations at Solid Foundation Estates Limited, a leading real estate firm. In this role, she provides strategic leadership across HR, operations, and organizational development, driving growth and fostering a culture of excellence. She has also played a pivotal role in high-level real estate events, including the CEO's Forum, and contributed to the development of the Real Estate Success Code Masterclass, a leadership and strategy program for industry professionals. Beyond her corporate career, Tinuade is the executive director of My Flow Hub, which is a modern women's self-care and menstrual wellness brand dedicated to empowering women to glow, nurture themselves, and thrive. She also has a rich background in relationship coaching support, wellness community management, and trauma-informed assistance, reflecting her holistic approach to leadership and human development. An alumna of Leap Africa's LAP Institute, Lagos Business School's NPLM program, and an MBA candidate at Ahmadu Bello University, Tinuade is committed to continuous growth, leadership intelligence, and proactive leadership. She embodies the quality of a modern, multidimensional leader, one who bridges strategy, people, and purpose to drive transformation across industries. Tinuade, thank you so much for joining us today. I would also be reading the bio of Miss Aderonke. Okay. Okay, I see that was not shared with me, but I would also like to welcome Miss Adironke for joining us today. Miss, yes. So I also like to welcome Ms. Aderonke Ajibola for joining us today for today's session. Thank you so much. I think I don't know if our speakers are here at the moment. If you could maybe switch on your camera. Our speakers here. Okay, I see Tino Ade on the screen. Fun fact, Tino Ade and I were at the Nonprofit Leadership Management together. So it's lovely to have you here with me today. I had no idea we were going to be on this panel together.
Oh, it's the
Um,
same
we
way,
were,
Shalani.
we were at the
Good
Lagos
morning,
Business School
everyone.
program together, and we were group members actually. We actually had the best group. And we're very proud to say that we had the best group.
Absolutely.
Yes, at LBS. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, Ms. Aderonke Ajibola, for joining today. Ms. Aderonke Ajibola, she's a seasoned finance professional with over a decade of experience, currently serving as a manager of corporate reporting at Midwestern Oil and Gas. Um, so she's also leads the strategic design and execution of IFRS compliance, financial reporting, regulatory submissions, and board level decision making. And the role is pivotal in driving compliance with the NUPRC, FIRS, and the Petroleum Industry Act. Her expertise spans across consolidated financial statements, audit readiness, tax provisions, and investor-focused management reporting, ensuring robust governance across JV and sole operations. She previously contributed to the Treasury Optimization and Strategic Insights as Director of Treasury Operations, managing cash flow strategies and banking relationships. And she's also known for delivering process improvements and fostering collaboration. And focus remains on shaping sustainable financial systems through integrity, diligence, and stewardship. And she's also dedicated to enabling teams and organizations to thrive in complex regulatory and operational environments. Thank you so much, Ms. Aderonke, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. All right, so this is going to be a very lovely session. We have two beautiful women from diverse industries, and they're going to be sharing their expertise with us today. And I know that we have so many young girls on this call today who will be looking up to you. Maybe some of them would even want to go into similar fields, such as the ones you're going into. So the first question I'm going to be asking us today, so think back to when you were a teenager, this is the lead camp for girls, and there are so many young girls. We'll be starting with Ms. Aderonke, then Tino Ade can also answer. So think back to when you were a teenager, just like the girls who are here today. Did you ever imagine you'll be where you are now? If you were to look back at the kind of dreams, maybe 15-year-old you had, a 16-year-old you had, what were the dreams you had back then? And how did they shape your journey? And what gave you the courage to follow your path? So we'll be starting with
Uh,
Ms. Aderonke. Thank
Good morning, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me. Oh, good.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so 15-year-old me, yes, I thought I would get here someday. I've always been an ambitious person. Back then in secondary school, um, I liked to lead. I was the head girl of my set, so leadership wasn't something that I considered an option. It was be a leader or nothing for me. And aside being a leader as well, I've always been very, very ambitious because I come from a family of three girls and one boy, and I was raised to believe that anything the boy can achieve, I can equally achieve. And my legacy, I was fortunate enough to know my grandmothers and even my great grandmothers when I was younger. They lived a right old age. And in their time, these were women who, if we had social media today, we'll call them captains of industries and success. So I was opportune to meet them and know their business story. So I come from a long line of, I like to say that I come from a long line of female achievers, women who always see themselves as equal to any man in their peer, and then they always strive for that. So looking back, I'd say that the journey ahead is still far. I'm not yet at my destination, but it's so far, I'd say that the goal is being achieved one day at a time, and then I'm sure that success is sure someday in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Aderonke. I think for so many young people, and I think your background is also really integral because you had a background where you were given the mindset that what a boy can do, a girl can even do greater. And I think that's also very important for young girls to know that anything a boy can do, you can also do it. So you should never cower yourself or think that you're not capable or not to be able to do something. So thank you so much for sharing that. And now we're
Mhm.
moving on to Ms. Tino Ade, the same question. If you were to look back at 15-year-old you, for example, when you were a teenager, did you think you would be where you are now? What were your dreams like back then, and how did they shape your journey?
Thank you for having me. Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. So 15-year-old me, did I think? Not really. So I used to be an introvert, right? I had loads of ideas, but they were only in my head. I was too shy, too scared to bring them out. The only thing I knew I used to do, because I used to be, I am an avid reader. I would read a lot, so I could only express myself via writing. So I just decided that, okay, if I want people to hear what I have to say, rather than just speak and have people laugh at me, I would rather write. But as I got to grow and in the journey of work, in the journey of life, having to meet people, having to be mentored, right? Having to be a protege, have learned that as much as you need to write as well, you need to speak up for yourself, right? So 15-year-old me would be proud that, yes, although I used to, write, now I'm able to speak up for myself, right? So for every girl listening to me, yes, you may not be 15-year-old you right now, could be the introvert that I was at that time as well. But definitely your voice counts. Even when people read from you, they know that this person has a strong voice. Now people read from me, now people hear from me, and then they can match both of them together. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tino Ade. I think something you said that really stood out is that your voice matters. And I think something else that any young girl who could be listening to this, from what you were able to say, is that sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone. So from becoming a writer to becoming someone who speaks, that's actually coming out of your comfort zone to go over and beyond. So thank you very much for sharing that. And now we're moving back to Miss Aderonke. And my first question for you today is, in the corporate world, a lot of Nigerian women often face extra challenges in the usual 9 to 5 banter. So what's one challenge you've actually faced as a woman in your industry? And have you ever felt like your voice wasn't heard? And how did you navigate self-doubt or external limitations?
Thank you for that question. I think this one challenge I faced was being recognized and being considered relevant, to even be in the room. That was the first one of the major challenges I faced. If I had to pick one, and there's always that someone who just decides that you're a woman. Why are you here? Your place is in the room. You shouldn't be here. And because I'm a very audacious person, I'm a very self-confident person, I'm very self-aware. I don't take no for an answer. So where I see people who say to me, your place is not in this room, because I've been fortunate enough to be the head and sit at the top of certain meetings where prehistorically they should be men, right? And in the oil and gas industry, I just did start in oil and gas. I started in audit oil and gas industry. So I've been surrounded in majorly a male dominated industry, right? But because I'm resilient naturally, and then I had to learn an additional layer of resilience, right? To be able to say that I belong in the room. And then also, when I open my mouth to speak, I try my best to not disappoint, and then to not cower under pressure. And this is because first I try my best to be prepared before I enter that room, so that when self-doubt comes, because self-doubt, so everybody, at least I can say for myself, I do get instances of self-doubt. But because I am pre-prepared, I over-prepare, because I know for a man, if a man, there's this saying that if a man does something once, a woman needs to do it 10 times better,
Yeah.
10 times faster than the man. So there is that pressure for a woman to be good. Not good. Good is not even good enough. You have to be the best in the room. So I always try to be pre-prepared, and then I always try to put my foot down. I stand up for myself in any room that I find myself in. I can give instances of where there was a presentation to be had. I had made the presentation, and then a man in the room, one of this "Why do you belong here?" men came, and then he was asking me questions and trying to put things fair. But because I had pre-prepared my presentation, I understood it front to back. I was able to exercise confidence, and then I was able to move forward even when the initial thought was I'm going to ask her some questions, make her lose her balance and her footing. But because as a woman I know that first there's that limitation of you don't belong here, I'm always prepared to say okay, I don't agree with you, but I need you to know that I belong here, and then change the narrative. So yeah, that's been my major challenge, trying to prove that I belong in the room.
Thank you so much for sharing, Adironke. I think something you said that really stands out is that you need to be audacious. For any young girl who is listening today, being audacious is usually taking the larger step and being fully confident in your abilities and just knowing, okay, I'm not going to take no for an answer, as you said, that I know the goal I want to get to, I know where I want to be at, and I'm going to make sure I do everything I can to be able to get to that level. And I think something you also said, which is a tip for any young person who's listening to this, is to pre-prepare. Always be prepared, because sometimes you get opportunities and you need to be prepared for those opportunities. And being a girl, sometimes you always have to go the extra mile just because there's a possibility of someone undermining you and undermining your ability. So making sure they are constantly being prepared. And I think in this generation of young girls, I know that most of the people listening will likely be Gen Alphas or maybe really, really young Gen Zs. You would have the likelihood of always being the youngest person in the room, especially if you're starting early. And I mean, for you to even be at the Junior Achiever Nigeria Lead Camp, it's already a step in the right direction, that you know what you want to do with your life and you are ready to actually make changes to become better people. So as you get older, you would likely be one of the youngest people in the room. So something you said that is really important that I think everyone needs to take away with them today is always be prepared. That's number one. And number two, be audacious and be confident in yourself and your abilities. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, before we move on, I would just like to remind everyone that if you have any questions, you could please make sure you type them in the chat room so that you don't forget your questions as we continue with our line of conversation. And now I'll be moving on back to Tino Ade with our next question. And my question for Tino Ade is, can you share a defining moment when you realized that your voice or your actions could make a difference in your community?
Okay, thank you, Phiolami, for that question. So a defining moment for me would be when I was working as a volunteer, yes, at an educational NGO. So we were going to have a community outreach, and then we did not have enough volunteers. On top of that, we needed volunteers in the community, because before community outreaches would take place, aside having external volunteers, you need to have volunteers in the community well, so the outreach can, go well. And I think all my managers and then the team leads were giving their suggestions here and there. And I was just seated in my corner. I'm like, oh, well, I was just taking notes. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, what if we do it this way? I'm sure this will work. If we approach the villagers this way, it should work. But I was scared that, what if I say this and they tell me no? I mean, how would I save face? I don't talk before, and then I'm saying the wrong thing. How am I going to, live with that? But I had, coming out of my comfort zone, I still had to speak up. The worst is they'll tell me no, or the worst is they won't take that. But good thing is they took it. And just that suggestion, it made a whole big difference. And at the end of the day, everything went well. So that was a defining moment for me. It just said to me that regardless of whatever you have in your head, just speak out. It could be the one changing factor for you. Do not even consider the fact that you're the youngest, or you may not have a proper job title. You could just be just a volunteer, not even the team lead. But just that one thing could be the game changer for you. So I learned that you don't need to have a title, to create impact. You could just be a volunteer. You could just be the girl in the class. You may not even be the senior girl or the ed prefect, or, what do they call them now? Governor of the class. But then you in your corner speaking out at just one bit, you can create a lot of impact, right? Just speak up, contribute your ideas, and then people know that Yes, she may not be the head girl, she may not be the head prefect, but then again, she's a powerhouse, right? So I understood that, even when you're small, you could spark or you could bring up meaningful change by yourself. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tinuade. So something Tinuade said that is really important is that you sometimes don't need to have the title of being the head girl or the head boy or being the prefect of the classroom. You don't need to be the most senior person to be able to still make an impact and make a change. And something else you also said, I think I really like, is that you started by volunteering. I think that for so many young people, when they want to look at how do I make change, they think they need to have the biggest idea to start. So you could start with something small as volunteering. And as you said, you don't need to be the team leader, you don't need to have the biggest ideas. So your voice still matters, and the little impact you're still able to do with the little you have still matters. As long as you're able to make a change and make an impact, no matter what title or role you have, you're still being able to make a change. So thank you so much for sharing. And we'll be moving back to Miss Adironke. And my next question for you is, so many girls are under so much pressure on how to choose a career, what career pathway to choose. What advice would you give to them if they are unsure right now?
All right. So I'll put myself back to a couple of years ago when I was in their shoes. And I'll try to say the story of how I chose my own career. I chose my career, well, when I wanted to write jam, right? That's typically when they say, yeah, what do you want to be? Come and fill your jam form. And then I sat my parents down. I said, parents, I want to be a banker. And for context, my dad is an accountant, runs his own audit firm. And my dad and my mom is a principal. She retired as a principal in a school in Lagos, yeah. So a couple of bookies who raised me, right? So when I said out to be a banker, they asked why. 15-year-old me goes, I like the way bankers dress. I like the way bankers dress. That was my reason for wanting to be a banker. I didn't know anything about a banker, but I said I like the way female banker dresses, in a suit, and she looks prepared. And then my dad goes, okay, if he's dressing, you can be in any profession and dress like that. I said, okay. Then I went so further to say, oh, I like the way they make money, so I want to make money. Then my dad goes, we had some conversations and then we settled on accounting. And because my dad guaranteed me that one, I was going to get my fashionable accountant desire or fashionable banker desire if I became an accountant. And so he assures me that don't worry, there's money to be made there. So okay, good. I feel jam accounting. All this to say, for the 15-year-old me, I would have said calm down. I would have said that the pressure that we apply on ourselves is good, is valid, but we should also try to give ourselves time to figure it out because the truth of the matter is that clarity happens along the way. As at today, I'm still redefining my roles. Yes, I'm an accountant. I currently work as a CFO in an oil and gas company. I have my own accounting, through bookkeeping and tax firm that I render. But outside of that, I'm thinking to myself, what more is there to me? What more social impact can I bring to the table? So you don't have all the answers today. Don't deceive yourself to say, and look at it. In 2 hours, I was able to the thing I wanted to be. I was able to be convinced that don't be a banker, be an accountant. And that's because I didn't have the conviction of purpose or a strong why. What were my reasons? One, I want to be able to dress in a suit and corporate skirt and tie and look fashionable. Two, I wanted to make money. Hey, they were my reasons, but they were valid to me. But when someone came, offered clarity of purpose, I was able to say, if those are your primary goals and objectives, you can achieve it with X, Y, Z. Okay, I was easily convinced. So you're still figuring it out. What matters most to you is curiosity. Try new things, volunteer, ask questions, and then watch what excites you. What's your passion? Because for me, I had things that excited me, and then I was able to also listen to people. The wise counsel of others was able to convince me, so I was able to connect those dots. I wasn't lost because I was okay. I was also opportune to have people sit me down, elders, quote and unquote, my parents were way older than me. They're older than me with age, with experience, right? but they were able to offer clarity of purpose, and their counsel was wise. I am thankful for your counsel as that today. I did achieve my goals, and I'm happy with my career choice. So for the young girl listening to me right now, I'll say don't rush. The biggest adventure is the one you can take, is the one you live, the life that you of your dreams. So what are your dreams? The right path will reveal itself when you're ready. Don't be too much of in a hurry, but while also being your waiting period, as I like to call it, don't stay curious and try to say, what are my personal interests? Because at the end of the day, if your personal interests are not being achieved, you would not, I don't think you'd have a fullness and sense of purpose. So try as much as possible to know yourself, stay curious. What are my desires? What do I like? What is important to me? What, and then ask yourself questions like, okay, in 20, 30 years from now, what would I like to be? Then try to have people, wise counsel that can draw you can draw wisdom from. Ask your teachers, ask your guidance counselor. Programs like Junior Achievement Leads program is also very important because they would be coming with their wealth of knowledge and practical life experience. Um, no matter how much you quote and unquote know with AI today, you don't have the practical life experience that these people have. So try to get that wise counsel. And at the end of the day, the decision is yours, the choice is yours. Don't let someone take that away from you. Everyone can always counsel and give wise advice, but be true to yourself. To thyself, be true. Be sure that what you want to do aligns with your personal goals and objectives. Because trust me, if you're not finding fulfillment of purpose, you will not be happy. And life is too like it's good to live a good life. So let's try to stay curious, and clarity will definitely grow on you as you explore your goals and interests. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You've said a lot. So, number one, stay curious. Number two, get counsel from other people. So, understanding your why is important. But then, even as you're trying to understand your why, you can also speak with other people so they can even give you further clarity. So, sometimes two heads better than one head. So, when you're asking even older people, so I'll say that as mentorship, get mentorship from people who have come before you so you can get clarity on this reason why I actually want to do this thing. Does it actually make sense on why I actually want to fulfill that thing? Also, don't box yourself into one category. You've mentioned exploring different things. So from volunteering to maybe even joining conferences, joining clubs, so that you can explore your different passions and explore your different abilities. That's also very important. And also take a pause and step back. Sometimes people rush things or rush into things too quickly, and then they are now like, oh, maybe I should have gone this way, maybe I should have gone that way. And then also think to yourself, 20 to 30 years from now, if I am looking back at what career choice I made, would I be happy in this situation? And I think I want to add one more thing to what you said. Don't be afraid to start again. I think that sometimes people are afraid of failure. So they think that once they've boxed themselves up into one category, that's the only place they can actually get to. And they think that they don't have the ability to even try other things. So if something doesn't work out the way you wanted it, I mean, so many people, I mean, a lot of you may be with testaments to that. Sometimes you may start, a lot of people start in career pathways in Nigeria, they'll study something in university, but that's not actually what they're practicing into today's age and age. So sometimes the pathway you thought you wanted is not actually where you're going to get to. So don't be afraid of changing the pathway that you had initially because you're afraid that you're going to have to change or grow or learn more. So I think that's just my addition to what you said. Thank you so, so much, Miss Aderonke. And my question now for Tinuade. I mean, you work in both the social entrepreneurship and also I know you work a 9 to 5 job as a human resources manager. So if you were to look at how you balance your job with your passion for helping others and creating change, do you think you have to be rich and famous to be able to make a difference? And how do you see opportunities for women in leadership and service evolving over the next decade? And how can young girls now prepare for that future?
Thank you, Belami, for that. Yes, I do a lot of social work. I still have a 9 to 5. I run my own initiative as well. And then balancing, it's really not about being perfect in all of these things. It's about just aligning them together, finding a balance. Yes, my 9 to 5 may be demanding, but I actually create time to do social work as well. I create time to mentor, volunteer. support leadership, because these things are very vital, right? And it keeps me grounded personally, right? And then you asked if you need to be rich or famous or known to make a difference. No, you don't need to be all of that. Like I said, when I answered my first question, I was just a volunteer. I wasn't even the team lead while I had to make that difference. Point is, you need to just have the heart, just have the mind that I want to. I just need to care. When I care, something will come out. Do you understand? Um, the starting point is just you having the idea, okay, I want to help, I want to create impact. And then things would balance themselves entirely. Start right where you are. You don't need to have a title, like I said earlier. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to succumb to societal beauty value. You don't need to be slim. You don't need to be, whichever way you are, right? Small acts, just one thing here, one thing there, of course, should make a difference. You could start, just start up something, volunteer, write, um, um, be involved in a project, right? I've seen on TikTok these days, even young children giving ideas. You just say, oh, tips to becoming a fast learner in something, something, and you just give like 5 tips. And for me as an adult, I just get to see, okay, I tried 1, 2, or 3 of this and it is working. And where did I get that? From a 15-year-old who just gave me 5 tips on TikTok, right? They're starting where they are. And I, as an adult, I am learning where they are, right? And in the next decade, I see that we are going to be doing better. Like more doors will be opening for women in leadership. And young girls like you are the ones that are going to be opening these doors, right? And then you need to start by building your confidence now. I had to start by building my confidence by writing and then coming out of my comfort zone to speaking, not just writing. I became a speaker. For people that do literature, I'm sure we did not all uh, listen to Chimamanda speak first. We read about her, we heard of her from her writing. Some of us who read Chinua Achebe, we didn't even get to hear Chinua Achebe speak. We heard from him from his writing. Even Jane Austen, we didn't even get to see her picture at all. We were not even sure if she's a man or she's a woman. We only got to read via, right? You get to know of her via her writing. Right, so develop confidence, develop competence, like Miss Adironke said. You need to develop competence. Come ready. If they are saying to you you're not supposed to be here, then you need to show to them that yes, I merit this because I am confident of myself. I have built competence to that extent. And then stay connected. That's one thing. For women in leadership, they are always staying connected. They are building network here and there. They are collaborating. They are not competing. So if you combine these 3 things I have said, confidence, competence, and building your network, collaborating with people, I think the sky is your start point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tinuade. I think something you've said there is really important. So you've mentioned how you balance both your 9 to 5, your own initiative, and then also social entrepreneurship. So for the young girls who are listening today who maybe want to know how would that work, in your aspect, it to be balancing being in school and then maybe volunteering somewhere or maybe starting up a project of your own. That would likely be how that would be in your point of view. So something you said that is really important is starting small is fine. Just start wherever you are. And I think in this digital age, so many people have access to social media. I think it has made being a change maker and making a change easier because you can literally, as you mentioned, you can see 15-year-olds giving tips to adults on social media and they're actually learning because they're actually spreading very vital information. So you can just start where you are. You don't need to have all the resources in the world. You can also collaborate with other people in groups and teams so that you can also make an impact. So thank you very, very much for sharing that, Tinuade. And now I'll be moving back to Adironke. And my question for you is, have you ever learned something outside the classroom, such as through volunteering, internships, or personal projects that have personally helped your career? And are there opportunities right now for young girls to explore careers in your industry? And how can girls access all these resources to transform their skills?
Okay, thanks. So, First off, I'd like to say that I believe that there is room for learning and growth in every opportunity, in every meeting, every day, every encounter with someone is an opportunity to learn. Um, However, you should be careful what you're learning are valuable tools that would add value. In this day and age of societal vices, you don't want to necessarily overexpose yourself to counterintuitive knowledge in your desire to learn. And that said, that was just a note of warning because the society that we live in now wants us to be careful. With that said, I believe that I'm a student of life. Every encounter, every opportunity, something I like to take from someone. I like to learn from someone. And then there are internship opportunities. After university, funny enough, which is why I'm really excited that the girls on the other end of this call, are taking this experience today. See, outside, I didn't have internship experience until outside of university. I was able to intern with UNESCO, one of their CWET program, for about 3 months while waiting for my NYC program back then. And I think they still run those programs today. Organizations like Junior Achievement are also great with mentorship and running programs of, and then there are various online boot camps and digital partnerships that young girls today can take incredible opportunities from. Then, if you're interested in finance, tech, or energy as well, we can there you can do some research on women like myself, and follow our stories, learn from it. Then, because you're student, it's good. I like because I'm seeing the video from certain places and I'm seeing that some girls are grouped together in classes. I'm liking the fact that these conversations are now going beyond the classroom and people are taking out time from the normal 8 to 4 p.m. school schedule to have students also sit down and hear practical real life experiences like this and consider it as a value added session for part of their day-to-day school curriculum. So I think it's on the students, thank you, to learn. And it's also good that schools themselves are exposing students to this kind of boot camps and digital mentorship programs. So the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Ladies, dream big. One of the things I like to say is that dream big because don't limit yourself to your immediate environment. Yes, your environment might limit what you dream today, but dream beyond your current circumstance, dream beyond your current physical, mental, and social environment. And use your phone instead of going through TikTok and Instagram. There are various YouTube, various podcasts you can listen to and you can learn from. Just Google what you want to learn. Is it IT skill, basic IT knowledge? You can Google these things and you can get knowledge from it in today's business world. And with the internet again, you have access to this information readily available at your fingertips. Mhm.
Thank you so much, Adironke. So, for our young girls who are listening today, something that's important to remember is dream big. That's number one. Dream big. Also, don't use social media just for entertainment. Use it as a tool for learning. So instead of you just scrolling on social media, oh, what is this person doing today? Or what has this person done? You can use it as a tool for learning. What skills do I want to grow? What skills do I want to accomplish? And also, you mentioned internships, which is something that I think is really important. I don't think anyone is too young to start internships. I did my very first internship at 14 years old. I'm sure some of you may either be 14, maybe even younger, even older. It's never too late or it's never too early to start an internship. So make sure you're constantly developing your skills. And as you also mentioned, you can look into the stories of young people who are also making an impact. So you can be inspired by them and see, okay, what can I pick from this person's journey that is similar to mine? And how can I see how I can apply that into my life? And something else you also really mentioned that is important is that junior achievements. This platform is a very important platform for young people who want to develop themselves, their skills, and their abilities. There are so many programs that Junior Achievement has. I know that they also have an internship program, so maybe they could explore having that for secondary school students also, maybe for a month or even 2 weeks. I think it's just getting the skills that are important. So don't be afraid to dream big and start early. And I think the world is your oyster. Thank you very much for sharing, Aderonke. And now moving back to Tino Ade, my next question for you is, Have there been times when people didn't listen to you or take you seriously? And how did you keep your voice strong in those moments?
Absolutely. There's been times like that, especially when I was working and then I was the youngest in my team. Even now that I'm in a male-dominated field, real estate world, we all feel that oh, only men are there. Really have very few women, you know. There was a time that I had a meeting with very big bosses, bosses that you get to see on TV. And then I was in that meeting, and then I'd suggested something to one of the bosses I worked with at that time. And then she just pushed my idea aside, only for me to hear one of these supposedly big boss speak on this, and everyone was clapping, and there was an ovation. And in my head, I'm like, but this is the exact same thing I said. And well, I felt hurt at that time, but it only taught me resilience, right? In my head, I'm like, okay, since you feel because I'm young, you didn't take my idea, okay, my comeback is to get better. My comeback is to get better, do better, so much that you would not have any choice than to listen to me. Right. So he taught me resilience, like I said. So instead of giving up, I've learned to do better on my job, brush it up rather than just, it was just an idea I gave. So if I think that if I'd given that idea, given them a breakdown strategically, so this is how you get to this is how you do this, how you do that, I'm sure they would have taken it. So now he has taught me that I need to do better on not just speaking about the ideas, but what are the follow-up things to do after it, right? And then how do I keep my voice strong in this moment, in moments like that? It's about standing firm on what you believe in, staying excellent, so much that you cannot be pushed aside. I mean, they don't have any. Nobody will have that guts to push you aside because you are so excellent at what you do. I've seen people. In this line of work that I do as an HR, I've seen people come for interviews and then I am so wowed by what they say. You ask them questions, the kind of value they bring to the table, even though they are women. And I'm like, this is a lot. This is a lot. You do not have, and I do not have an option but to employ them because it brings so much value to the table, right? So consistency in being better would do right for you. That so much that you would not be, you'll be impossible to ignore. So that's the point for me.
Thank you so much, Tinuadi. So resilience and consistency is very important as a young person. Sometimes when you're starting off in an industry, people may not be nice to you simply because they don't even know you. Sometimes there's this likelihood of, oh, because you're not known, they think that they don't deserve to give you respect. But then I think when you remember where you want to get to personally and what your end goal is, then every other thing doesn't really matter because you just know that, okay, this is a learning experience for myself. I know what I want to accomplish at the end of the day. So I'm going to keep on making sure I am resilient to keep on getting to where I want to get to. And I'm keep on growing and developing myself so I can keep on getting better. I see questions coming in. Thank you so much for sharing your questions. We will have a Q&A session once we're done with this aspect. So I'll be moving back to Ms. Aderonke, and my next question for you is, what does success look like to you now, and how has that changed over the years? So beyond your job title or your salary, what kind of impact would you like to be remembered for?
Okay. So beyond my job title and my salary, what something I've always been true to myself about is having impact. So when I started my career, I was at that stage in my life where I felt learning was very important. And now I'm in a space where I see leadership is important. At every season and any phase in my career, there's always something I take as my pillar of focus, and I try to work on that. So, what I want to be reminded for is these three L's: learning, leadership, and legacy. Legacy as a woman who, despite all odds, stood firm and made an impact in our sphere, either in our immediate environment. It's just one life that I touch for the better. I'd consider that as success. So it's not tied to my success story. I don't want it to be tied to my job title or my salary or even my office, but I want my story to be that of impact, mentoring young professionals, empowering the woman child to know that beyond sex that she was born with, right? She herself is strong enough to build industry, to be able to mentor someone to say that your success isn't how much money you make, but it's about the difference you make in people's lives. So I want to be someone that's considered because I had this encounter, as brief as it might be, if it's 1 second, 2 minutes with me, I helped that girl, preferably. And the reason why I say girl is because I feel that the men don't have this challenge that the women have of being timid and playing small. A man doesn't play small in any room he finds himself. By default, he goes in, takes over, dominates. But if I can help one woman say to herself that I can also dominate, and the truth of the matter is, what is stopping you? There's nothing stopping a woman except our own mind, our own thoughts. But if a woman can have that rethink of ideas, rethink of purpose to say, I can dominate, I can do it. That's what I want to be known for. That was my legacy to be able to prove or preach to the women child that you can do it and watch how the woman can do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adironke. So it's important that you remember that it's not just about the money or the titles, but what do I want to be remembered for? That's very important. As a young girl who would eventually start your career, what impact would I like to make in this industry I am in? So if I'm able to touch the lives of one person, two people, how do I want to be remembered in that industry? So thank you so much for sharing. And my last question for Tinuade before I let you all give your final words for today is if a young girl has a big idea to help their community, but she's afraid to speak up or take the first step, what are some small but powerful ways that she can start now, even as a student?
She should start small. Remember, I was an introvert and I started by writing, right? Until I had to come out of my comfort zone and speak. So start small and start now. Don't wait for any perfect condition. Do not wait for, oh, until I'm trained enough. No, or until someone gives you permission to lead. No, start now. Start small and start now. If your idea is to maybe be a teacher for children later on, start now by tutoring just one person, right? If your idea is to become a speaker, start now by, having a 1 minute podcast or a 1 minute speaking engagement with one person or writing. If you care about the environment, with the environmental thing that you're into, start now by volunteering with an initiative that they do clean up in the society. Join them 1 hour, 30 minutes. You're good to go. If you love storytelling like myself, use your voice. I mean, you could write, or you could use your voice by sharing things on social. You remember the example I gave about doing TikTok and Instagram is not just for entertainment but for performance, for education. List out the things you maybe 1 to 5 tips on becoming this or tips on doing that, and then just start like that. And then, like I said, the sky is going to be your limit. The sky is going to be your start point. One thing that stands out for me is volunteering, right? Volunteer. It's not it's something that you cannot overemphasize. Volunteering, it brings out a lot in you. Is it the confidence? Is it the communicating skills? Is it the people meeting skills or people networking skills? Volunteering does a lot for you. So start now by volunteering now. Start now by taking up projects, even when people do not permit you to do it. Take it upon yourself because you want to get better. You want to do better, right? So start now and start small.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Tino Ade. Thank you so much, Adiranka and Tino Ade. Before we let you guys do our Q&A session, my last question for both of you is, for any young girl who is listening to this today and thinks she's not enough, how would you encourage her to dream big and to achieve her goal? So we'll start with Adiranka, then Tino Ade.
So first, I'd like to change that narrative. As long as there is life, I have this common saying that as long as there is life, there is hope. So the fact that you are here, you're already enough as a woman or even as a man. the fact that you're here is already enough. You just need to work on becoming the more that you have in your mind. And this is why I'm having saying that you you access yourself as you access yourself as there is a gap because you feel I should be somewhere. There is a mind, there is a end goal that you have in your mind. But based on your current reality, you're saying, I am not enough. You are already enough. And the fact that you can see yourself in that end is that you are confident or you have that idea, sort of, that that's where I should be, right? And what can a woman do or what can someone do to get themselves into that desired future? I'd say first off, learn the like I don't know if you can see my screen, but behind me here are books, a shelf filled with books. Don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. As a woman, as a man, life is I said it, I'm a student of life. Keep learning, please. Learn. Then also expose yourself to opportunities. It has been my experience that life will meet you at the point of your readiness. How do I mean? Until you show up, until you be present, until you say to yourself, I am here. Um, you are like a lamp that is covered. Okay, let me rephrase because we might not know lamps, but you're like a torchlight that is then covered with clothes. But until you put on your light, until you shine, no matter how small you're shining it, as you shine and then that illumination becomes brighter in the darkness that you are, or that you feel there is a need or there is a void for, because you're shining your light bright. By virtue of that, life will meet you with goals, with opportunities for further growth. So my own advice to these women listening to me is, first off, don't have that idea that you're not enough. You're already enough, but that you are in the process of becoming the future you that you already see yourself as. And that is why today you're working to say, okay, what do I need to do that in 20, 30 years' time, I am that person I envision myself to be? So keep showing up, keep learning. And then please, comparison is a killer of joy.
Yeah.
Don't compare where you are today with another person's story. Your story is your story, your race is your race. Run with your own story, run with your own race, and don't dim your light to fit into anybody's story or anybody's bucket or assumption of where you should be. The greatest tragedy in life is not your death, but it's a life without purpose. So find your purpose, nurture it, walk in it, own it, and I believe that the future is the sky is just the limit for this beautiful women I see on the end of the call. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ajironke. I think you've ended it beautifully. You are enough. For any young girls listening to this today, you are enough. And for you to even be here, it shows how much you are important and you actually have the ability to keep on growing and developing yourself. Also, something else you've said that I want you guys to take away with you today is never stop learning. Learning is important. Keep on growing and developing yourself. Also, something else that is really important is that the you are right now is going to make up the future you. So people look at the future as so far away, but it's actually the steps that you take today that would eventually lead to that future you that you're going to see. I think that's something else you said that is really, really important. So thank you very, very much, Adironke. And now I'll be asking the same questions to Noadi.
Thank you, Phil. I didn't care I said it all, but then I'm just going to add, like she said, you're enough. Even while you're becoming, but because you're even in the lead camp, it means you're enough. So you you don't need to feel like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. No, you are enough. Absolutely. You don't need to be perfect, but you are enough. You just need to be willing. Do you understand? The confidence that you've seen that everybody has, I mean, most people that you look up to, they have today, they were not born with it. Baby steps here and there. They had to build this confidence. They had to build this competence. So baby steps, you build here today, you build there tomorrow, tiny actions today, tiny actions tomorrow. So that's progress, right? Progress, not perfection. So you're building today, you're building. And when you now think about it, in 10 years and 15 years, you look at how far you've come, you would know that you've done a good job for yourself. So you're enough. You're enough. You're progressing. That you're even in lead camp, you're absolutely progressing. So one tiny action today, one tiny action tomorrow. And then another thing I am going to say is that just know that you're not alone in this, right? You have a community of people who believe in you, who you can walk this journey together. Thankfully, Junior Achievement Nigeria is here for you, right? We are a community and we can build, we can grow together with you. You need anything, you are just at the snap of your finger. People are there to help you. Remember that you are not alone. Strong girls don't do it alone. If you see the way they say it out there, people do not compete anymore. Strong women do not compete anymore. They collaborate. So people grow together, right? So that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you so much, Tinuade. Progress, not perfection. The little steps you take today are really important. On that note, I would like to thank you so much, Tinuade and Adironke, for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure to have you on this panel. It's been such a pleasure to be your moderator for today's session. And I am sure that the young girls on this call have been inspired by your stories. And I know that they have a lot of questions. I'm seeing so many questions coming in. So I think for the next, 20 minutes, we'll be having our Q&A session. So thank you for everyone who has already started with the questions. You can keep on putting your questions in the chat room. We may not be able to answer every question, but I will start by answering a couple of or reading out a couple of questions, and any one of you could respond to those questions. So the first question I see is from Topfield College, and that question is, what should I do if I cannot figure out the career I want to choose? So Tinuade or Adironke, you could answer that question.
Could you say that again?
Okay, so the question is, what should I do if I cannot figure out the career I want to choose?
So in my opinion, I think you should start with what are you passionate about? What would you like to do? Um, for me, my father is, it was a banker, right? My mom was a teacher. My father would rather I become a banker like himself, but because I like to read, I just saw myself as a writer, even though that's not what I currently do. So at a point in my life, I didn't know which way to go. Is it to become a banker like my dad, or to become a teacher like my mom, or to become a writer that I really do want to? Oh, I had a friend who wanted to become a doctor. So because of this, my friend, I'm like, okay, I think I need to become a doctor as well. So at a point in my life, um, I wasn't really sure which career path to go through, but I had to take a step back and look out for what I'm passionate about. What do I see myself doing in 10 years and 15 years from now? What would I like people to know me for? Right. Based on that was what I had to, that was how I had to, pick out a career path for myself. So look at just find out what you're very passionate about. That will be the first step in helping you. And then in 5, 10, 15 years, what do you see yourself, the bigger you, a 30-year-old you, a 35-year-old, or what defines success for you? For you to call yourself, well, I'm successful, Amina, or I'm successful Funke, or I'm successful Chiamaka. What does that, what picture does that, what comes to your head when you think of that? So I think that should be like a defining factor for you as well.
Thank you very much, Tinuade. Adironke, would you like to
Sorry.
add to?
Yes, please. I wanted to add to that. And I'd say these are interesting times, and this is what I mean. First, ask yourself, what is the career? So the woman who asks this question, ask yourself, what is a career? Then when you define it, ask yourself, 10, we're going for 5 years ago, did the career social media influencer exist? I'm almost sure the answer to that is no. But are people receiving financial rewards for that line of career today? The answer is yes. And now there is a new career developing, which is a career of social impact, career where we are now trading influence. So either economic influence, either social influence. You in my 9 to 5, guess what? I'm an accountant, but here I am trying to build influence. So ask yourself, what is a career? Define that career. What is a career? Basically, something you do in exchange for money, right? So what is my own interest? What can I do today that I would do? Someone will give me money. You can define your own career if you don't know what your career will be in the future. That is why I said this is an interesting time, because the internet, social media, the world has opened up so much. I was still saying this to someone the other day that the world has changed after COVID. This generation Alpha, this Gen Z, we are redefining the world. The prehistoric, there's a new industrial revolution going on. So you can redefine your career, ladies. Don't try to limit yourself that, oh, I must be a banker, oh, I must be an accountant. No. What does Ronke like doing? Okay, this is what Ronke likes doing. Fine. How can Ronke try to make money from this? And also try to say, what does Ronke need to do to be able to make money from this? So you can redefine your career while figuring it out, but don't be in a hurry to say, oh, this is the box I want to be in today. No, you can do many things. Don't limit yourself, not in 2025 and beyond. You're not limited to the traditional careers any longer of doctor, lawyer, etc. No, you can be so much more. Just find out what your personal interests are, as my co-panelist has rightly said, and try to see how you can make money from it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adirunke and Tinowade. And I think this also answers a question I saw on if it's possible to have two career options, how can I navigate that? So I think in this generation now, because you have the ability to explore multiple things, you don't need to put yourself in a box, as you mentioned. So you don't need to always go the traditional pathway of, oh, I need to study accounting, I need to study law, I need to study engineering. You can actually balance doing multiple things at the same time because there's so many different ways. And I think even with the rise of the internet, you could be working remotely and you could also be doing other things at the side. So I think that kind of answers that question, that you can balance multiple things at the same time. But the next question I see, which I think is a really good question, is if you are not good at the subjects expected in your career pathway, what do you do, especially if this is a career that I really want to do? I would like to answer that question.
Okay, so I'll take
Okay.
it first. When I started my career, or before I started my career, one of the exams I needed to qualify for was ICANN. But I say this to anybody who listens, and it's not to say that I was a bad student. There was a particular, it took me about 5 or 6 retries before I passed my qualifying exam. If you keep failing, keep trying, and show up. Don't give up. It, there's no other way to say it. Don't give up. Keep fighting until you win. An exam is set for two things: pass or fail, right? You fail means you're not good enough. Rinse and repeat. Go back into the ring, give it your best, punch, 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 fight, and don't give up until you win. And guess what? If you win it once, you're not going to go back. They're not going to ask you to redo it again. You've already proven that you can do it once. So you just need that one try, but don't give up. Keep showing up, keep fighting, and keep trying. Try, try, try. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, before I go back to the questions on the chat room, I see that one we have a school that has raised up their hand from Kano Capital's Girls School. So I would let you take the floor to ask a question before I go back to the chat room questions. So you can unmute and ask your question before I go back to the chat room. Kano Capital Girls School. Or was that a mistake? Okay, I think because of time, we'll go back to the chat room questions. There are a lot of questions in the chat right now about building confidence. A lot of people are trying to understand how can they build confidence as a young person, especially if their parents undermine them, or how do they regulate their emotions. So there are a lot of questions on confidence building, emotions regulation, as well as letting your parents believe in you. So a particular person actually asked, how can I show my parents that I'm capable of creating a business based on my idea? And how can I encourage myself even though my parents look down on me? Can my goals still be pursued even though I am not supported financially?
So let me go with that one. First, I want you to know that um your worth is not determined by anyone's opinion, not even your parents, right? Like Aderonke said, our worth is not determined by a job or tied to a job or something. Yes, your worth is not determined by your anybody's opinion. Sometimes, like our parents, they just see the world through their own eyes. What they know is what they know. And times are changing. What they know may not be enough now in these changing times, right? So you are born. Yeah, one thing you should know is, and they would know as time comes to be, is that you're born with potential, not permission, right? Even if people around you do not see it, your purpose is still your purpose. Your value is still your value. Start by believing in yourself first. You believe in yourself, you push through, and then they do not have a choice but to also believe in you. That's one thing I want to say. Become your first supporter. You may not have a supporter in the house, but you are your first fan. You're doing things for yourself because you know that I believe in this is going to work. It eventually works out. People get to see.
Hello, everyone. I got logged out. Just want to make sure you can still hear me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think Tinuade also got logged out. I have no idea what
Yes,
happened,
I
but
did. I don't know what happened.
okay. How do I get you? Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, T. Maybe you could just briefly recap what you said before we got logged out, and then we could answer a couple more questions. Okay, you're okay.
Was that for me?
Yes, maybe you could just quickly recap what you were speaking about before.
Okay. I was just saying that
Yes,
can you hear me now?
yes,
Yes,
I
I
can.
said start by believing in yourself, regardless of what your parents do not see, the value did not see, they do not see what you're doing right now. Believe in yourself first. Keep pushing. Use that the fact that they do not believe in you, that should be like a motivational factor for you. Right. So push through. Make sure you become successful, right? And they would have to see that they should have believed in you. And then find supportive people that will support you in your dreams. If your parents are not the ones supporting you now, find people who will support you. Find mentors, find your community. Communities like Junior Achievement Nigeria. Of course, you see supporters there, you see mentors there, you see people that you can collaborate with and be successful at what you do. Right. Yeah, from me, that's it. Focus on excellence. That's another thing. Be very excellent at what you do. They will not have a choice. They will not have a choice.
Thank you very much, Tinuade. Another question I see is what do I do if the course I would love to study is not encouraged in Nigeria? So how do you navigate that?
Okay, so by the phrase encouragement, I'd like to assume that this person is thinking out of the traditional courses that our culture has approved as good courses. Let's not. I won't try to deceive you and downplay the fact that culture plays in certain courses in our environment. Everybody wants to call mommy lawyer, mommy doctor. You know, we're used to that phrase.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said earlier, one of the things that drives you, or I think should drive an individual, is yourself. What do I want to do? And while trying to also do that, um, try to be true to your immediate environment. And this is what I mean. Where do you see yourself in 20, 30 years? Are, are you going to be in Nigeria? Can your can your competence take you outside of your Nigeria? So I don't know if you remember earlier when I was saying that don't let your immediate environment limit your dreams and your goals. So though we are in Nigeria today, we are in this immediate environment today, there are courses out there that are celebrated world over. And beyond of our immediate environment, even if you're in Nigeria physically with the internet, you can be in any part of the world. So if your choice, if your career path is this, first thing, is it your interest? Second thing, are you very good at it? Third, if you're not very good at it, how can you become excellent at it? Then fourth, how can you carve out a niche for yourself in that business, in that economic world, in that course, such that when they think of that course, when they think of the environmental sciences, industrial relations, it's sure they think of if they want to call 5, 10 industry top leaders, you are the one, your name will be included in that list. Do that. And when I hear people talk about parents are important. But at the end of the day, your decision to yourself is also one of a very important decision, if not more important than that of your parents. Because at the end of the day, you're left with your choices. So if you had not been true to yourself, if you had sacrificed your own desires, your goals to achieve or fulfill your parents' goals and objectives, will you be happy? If the answer is no, please just bet it all, risk it upon yourself, and go for your dreams. Go for your dreams, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adironke. There are also a lot of questions in the chat room regarding comparison. So someone says, you said girls should stop comparison. How can I stop that when I see people of my age do what I cannot do? And there are also a lot of questions on how to actually develop skills. I saw a question on how to develop skills as a public speaker who wants to start public speaking, but they don't know how to go about it. So I think these questions are more rooted on how can I develop skills when I'm already seeing people who are my age mates actually work towards being good at those skills?
Okay. So I'll talk of my experience and then things I've also learned along the way. So skills like confidence, skills like public speaking, I've found out that they come by virtue of doing. So if you don't do it, you can't become an excellent person. And I'll give you examples. When I started doing public speaking at a very young age in different social circles, in church, in national debate competitions. And look at me now. As at today, I'm also a member of several speaking societies, one of which is Eagle Toastmasters. And you cannot be a toast. What is Toastmasters? Toastmasters is just a group of professionals who work on their public speaking skills and abilities. So you have to apply yourself. Those skills you can learn from a book, but luckily or unluckily in life, if you don't apply yourself, if you don't do it, your yesterday's speech, tomorrow's speech will be better than it. Next tomorrow's speech will be better than it because you're learning and you're growing. There will be key takeaways from every speech. So by doing is how you get to apply that knowledge. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. If you don't do it, you can learn for it. That's the first thing, you learn for it. But until you start doing it, the confidence, the tenacity, the audacity, the confidence won't come because you've not practiced. You would be timid. But as you brush up, as you freshen up, as you apply yourself, you're taking away and you're adding. That's why you see someone who has speaking for 20, 30 years and you go, wow, I love the way you speak. You're a great public speaker because I have 20 years of experience under my belt. That's why I'm a great public speaker. But if you don't do it, you won't. You can learn all the books in the world, but until you start applying yourself, regrettably or unregrettably, you won't get it. Yeah.
So
you.
I was just had a bit to that. You need to, for public speaking, I think you need to start privately, especially if you're somebody who is who is an introvert like myself. I started from writing. I started keeping a journal. I started reading out poems. I started reading out stories before came to start on the bigger stage. So read aloud to yourself, stand in front of a mirror, write about, some things, and then read to yourself in front of the mirror. Test how your voice sounds to you, right? You can start practicing like that. Put your friends together. Maybe it could just be in your class. You have your group, your peer groups together, and then speak to them, read to them, and then let them tell you you should do better. You can speak louder here, you can speak lower here, and then they will be the one to judge you. And before you come on the bigger stage and you see that you're doing well on the bigger stage, right? So start small, start privately, rather. Start privately, do it to yourself, do it to your friends, your group of friends. Like you just practice in private before you go in public, right? Rehearse in front of a mirror. These are practical tips, right? Very practical one. Like for me, you can find your voice in writing. Keep a journal, write poems, write stories, write life realities, write whatever you want to write, whatever you want to speak out. Start by writing it first and reading this thing out. If it's you want to speak better, sometimes you learn from hearing other people speak, right? When people pronounce words, you say, you don't pronounce it this way. You learn how to pronounce it correctly. When you go outside, you're not making a mistake. You're pronouncing it the right way. So I feel writing trains your voice. It trains your voice, right? So yes, in addition to what Miss Ronke had said, start privately, speak in front of a mirror, write. Every time you speak, yes, you may be scared. Your heart might get racing, might run well, but then keep doing it, keep doing it, keep building the confidence. And 10, 15, 20 years from now, you can look back and say, I have 20 years experience in speaking, but you started small first. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Tino Adi. Thank you very much, Adironke. I'm so sorry. There are so many amazing questions, but we are not going to be able to answer a lot of the questions. So I'm really trying to combine different questions into categories. So even if you don't hear me reading out your question the way you said it, we're just trying to do so in a manner that the questions you're asked can still be answered properly. Okay, I see two hands raised. Rehoboth High School. Would a member of your school like to speak? You can unmute if you have a question.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma. So
Good
basically,
morning.
as a teenager, I see people my age talking about what they are passionate about and stuff, and their future careers, what they aspire to be. And for me, I don't even know what I'm passionate about. Once I get into a particular activity, after a particular period of time, I get bored. I don't even like it again, and this really bothers me.
Okay. So I think her question is more on how can she find her passion? She doesn't even know what she's passionate about because she gets bored easily. Thank you very much. Who would like to answer this question?
Mm, for me, I think you can start with curiosity, no pressure, right? Just these things that you feel that you like today, you're not sure if you like them tomorrow, write them down first. That's one thing. Start by being curious. Then, like Miss Ronka said when she was answering one of the questions, expose yourself to a lot of things, like a lot of things. And I'm very sure that um, passion begins from curiosity. You're asking about this, you're asking about that, you're asking about this one and that one. Before you know it, you would definitely see a pattern, right? Because when you're writing these things down, you get to see a pattern. As humans, right, we tend to follow a pattern. So when you write these things down, you get to see a pattern, right? It points to one thing. All of them may look different in the beginning, but consistently, you will see a pattern. You will see what excites you, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Aderonke, would you like to add on? I'm seeing more people raise up their hands.
Hi, darling. Thank you so much for that question. Yes, please. I will answer that question. I'll try to be brief. What I hear from you is that you're a very curious person. And you see, there is this phrase that says,
Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear
hello?
you.
Oh, great, because my network is telling me it's unstable. So here is the thing. It's okay to have, if you've seen a rainbow before, a rainbow has so many colors. And I like to also use myself as an example. I'm a CFO in an oil and gas company. I run my own practicing firm. I'm a farmer as well. I'm also in real estate space. I'm a social impact person. I'm a multifaceted person. Don't try to limit yourself into one box. And I'll also add this to you. I don't know if you've heard the phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. But what is better than a master of one is a master of all. What do I mean? So this is the full phrase, a jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. That is the full phrase from Shakespeare. So the fact that you are multifaceted, darling, what that just tells me is that you can do so much. Because if I were in your shoes, I'd be a great accountant, which I am. I'll be a great CFO, which I am. I'll be a great farmer, which I am, because I'm doing all that and more, because that is who you are. So you know what they always say, multiple streams of income. The other day I was googling Tomi Elumelu, and I was seeing how there are so many things, from the foundation to the bank to the oil and gas to the hotels to the electricity generation company. Darling, it's not a minus for you. It's actually an add-on. It tells me that you get bored easily before, and as my co-panelist rightly said, Mr. Ade, you as you write them down, your passion would come out, and then you find a way to link all these things together to have a great industry, a great business. I see yourself being a great captain of industry, darling, because guess what? You can become a jack of all trades. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you can become a master of all, which is often better than a master of one. So it's not a minus, it's an add-on there. It's a very good add-on to do. But please don't scream off one or two. Everything you do, apply yourself excellently well, such that people wouldn't, or you yourself will not be able to judge yourself as incompetent. But because you're a master of all, you can even set up, I mean, you can set up 10, 20 industries together. And you're like, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that. And it's because it's your passion. Yeah. So it's not a minus, it's an add on.
Thank you so much, Aderonke. Before I will let two more schools because of time to ask their question. But there was a general question I also saw in the chat room regarding parents not being in support of the abilities that children have. So let's say they want to be art students, but their parents are forcing them into the science category, or they want to work in entrepreneurship, but their parents have made them boxed in a situation whereby all you can do is academics. They don't want to see you doing any other thing. So the question generally is, how do they navigate that? If their parents are really limiting how far they can go beyond being in the classroom and beyond learning just academically. I don't know if you heard my question. Okay.
So as a parent myself, I'll take that question. And this is it. I agree, I acknowledge your situation. And my darling, do you know you can also teach your parents? Try, if you find a trusted senior or a trusted elder that you think your parents can listen to, try to have that conversation with your parents. Oh, sorry, I was about to speak Yoruba, but I'll digress. This child's interest and passion is in this line. And as some people say, in my day, I only became a doctor for my parents. Once I finished medical school, I gave my parents a certificate and I went
Great.
on to live my own life. At the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your decision. So it's two things. There are two parts I see here. First, you can sacrifice your time, try to fulfill the obligations of your parents and desires of your parents. And after a while, go pursue your own dreams and objectives. Or you can also try to teach your parents, try to convince them. And some parents are very understanding that once they see this is a child's passion, and as I said, with my own example, once my daddy saw that what I wanted was to be able to wear fine clothes and make money, say, okay, this is how you can do it. And that's where I am today. So try to either live your own life or try to teach your parents or try to live their life and try to make them proud. Because at the end of the day, the good book also says honor your father and your mother, right? So don't dishonor your parents, but also don't sacrifice your own goals and aspirations and your own desires.
Thank you very much, Adirunke. So I'll take a question from Apostolic Faith Secondary School and then a second question from Topfield College. So unfortunately, because of time, those will be our last two schools that will be taking questions from today. So Apostolic Faith, I will ask you to unmute now. So you could ask your question. Are we ready? Apostolic Faith Secondary School. Would any of you like to, I see you're unmuted. Would any of you like to answer your question, or rather, would any of you like to ask a question? Okay. All right, we'll move on to another school. I think I said Topfield College. So we'll do Topfield College and we'll do Federal, what school is this? We'll do Topfield College and we would also do Federal Technical School, Technical College. So Topfield College and then Federal Technical College. So any one of you could go first. Let me ask you to unmute. Topfield College, the floor is yours. Do you have a question? Okay. I cannot hear anything. Let's do Federal Technical College if Topfield isn't ready. Your hand is raised up. Do you have a question? Federal Technical College. Would any of you like to ask a question live?
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead.
She's not allowing us. Okay. Okay. As a girl, I would like to. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, as a girl, I would like to pursue my talent, but I normally have low esteem, and I don't know how to build my low esteem. Um, sometimes I normally feel emotionally unstable. Like normally is actually distracting me. So I
She
need
said she
to
can't hear you. You have to talk loud.
my voice is low.
Don't worry, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So my should
Continue. Speak loud.
I say it again?
Hello, please, can you hear her clearly?
Yes, I can hear her clearly. Yes. Please go ahead. Okay.
So
So
allow me,
from our
please, can you hear her clearly?
Yes, so I heard what she said on how, as a young person, sometimes that she has self-esteem issues and she has problems regulating her emotions. But
Okay, ma.
I think
As a
she should
girl,
continue
I
her
would
question.
love to pursue my talent, but I normally have, ma. Okay, normally have low self-esteem. I don't know how to, build my. Okay, I need help in building my low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
How do I build my self-esteem, ma?
How do you build your self-esteem? Okay.
It's bad.
Aderonke, would you like to answer this question?
Yes, please. Thanks so much, darling, for that question.
You're welcome.
And I would say that self-esteem, it starts from yourself. See that phrase, self, in that self-esteem. If you take out that self, you would you are left with practically nothing, right? So start with positive affirmations to yourself. So things like I am beautiful, I am enough, I will live a life of impact, I am loved. Those are very, very good ways to start. Start by speaking positive into your own life. And as you speak positivity to your life, stand in front of a mirror, as my coach panelist rightly said, and speak to yourself. When you are working on your own self, you will change the narrative. Self-esteem, from my experience, is something that is in the mind. It's your head that thing stays in. But as long as you are not as long as you don't believe in it and yet then you are working on it. So that question tells you that you want to build self-esteem. So first is start by speaking positively and using kind affirmations to yourself. Don't be critical of yourself. Then celebrate your small wins. Like so things like, oh, I look beautiful today. Did you speak nicely in school today? When your teacher asks you a question, did you get the answer? Wow, good job. You're doing well for yourself. Then comparison is a thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to anybody. And when you're also building your skills, what is the thing that makes you happy? Something as simple as, oh, I'm a very great cook. I can cook really good Indomie. Please own it and be very proud of yourself in that you are good at something. I don't believe that there is one thing you are not competent at. That thing that you're competent at, run with it. If it's simple as when it comes to ironing my clothes, I'm great at ironing clothes. Please run with it as your own skill. And when it translates into other area of your life because you didn't believe the narrative that you yourself had conquered yourself. Is your own conviction, your own interest, your own passion, your own narrative to yourself is what will drive that your self-esteem. Then surround yourself with the right people. Your friends, who are they? Are they good at bringing you down or good at putting you up? Confidence is depending. Confident people, having them in your immediate environment will also help you. So if your people you're surrounded by are people who like to bring you down, it's not good. Please consider changing your immediate environment if you're surrounded by naysayers and people who don't believe in shining you bright. Then allow yourself to make mistakes. Mistakes are a part of life. So don't keep saying, oh, I'm unworthy of love or respect. Every opportunity that you make a mistake, take it as a learning opportunity to learn from. Then when you're alone with your thoughts, journal, reflect, ask yourself what makes you happy, what am I good at, what am I proud of, what can I learn? Then that thing that all those answers that you get, what makes you happy, what are you good at, what are you proud of, what can I do, what do you want to learn? Build on it. Self-esteem grows when you are aware of yourself. It's not what other people say. Say, having your self-esteem is different from external validation. So having your self-worth or your self-desire come from another person out there is not self-esteem, it's external validation. Self-esteem grows from within. So I will speak positively to yourself. Then please don't walk like own the room. When you find yourself in a space, right? Have that knowledge that I should be here. Don't be your first cheerleader. Don't let your external validation come from your parents, from your teachers, from your friends. No, it is you as yourself. Where do you belong in this room? Tell yourself that you belong here and own it. Nobody can own it for you. You are the only person that your life is in your own hands. Nobody can tell your story the way you will tell your story. Then do something brave at every once a day. Just say, I want to do something brave. So courage is an habit. Like I was saying earlier, it's a skill that what if you don't do it, you cannot get it. So because if you I can speak and you can read all the self-esteem books in this world, but if you don't apply yourself, confidence only comes by doing, darling. Courage only comes by doing. It's a habit. So I'll leave you with this. You are what you believe. If you don't
Yeah.
believe in yourself, no other person can believe in it for you, darling. So you have to believe in yourself, and then the world will see you the way you see yourself. So speak positively to yourself, be your own cheerleader, and I believe that the sky is the limit for you, as I rightly said earlier.
Thank you so much, Adironke. All right, so Topfield College. I will let you, that will be, unfortunately, that will be our last session for today. I've been told that we need to wrap up today's session. But Topfield College, I will let you, you said you were speaking before, so I will let you speak again. So you can unmute yourself and speak so we can answer your question. Are you still here? I'm looking for you. Okay, I'm not sure they're still on the call. I'll take another school. Okay, I'll take Top Tees because they've been they've been here for a while. Top Tees College. So you can unmute. Top Tees College, please unmute and ask your question. Okay.
How can we depend on other people? What if they don't depend on us? They don't believe in us.
Hello. Okay, let's stop your video. I think it's causing.
Please, please.
Could you repeat your question, please?
Yes, you said we should, if our parents does not depend on us, we should try to depend on others. What if they don't depend on us?
Okay, so the question is, what if other people don't encourage you? So I think that was when we're speaking about if your parents don't support you, that you can depend on other people. So what if those other people too don't support your vision and your dream? I think that's the question you're asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, Deronke, would you like to
Yeah,
answer?
hi.
Hi.
So, I said earlier, right, that your dream and goals are personal to you. And I'll take this from what I was saying earlier about self-esteem. It's your own story, it's your own confidence. So the truth is you are the one in your own body, you are the one in your own mind. Nobody can know you the way you will know yourself.
Yeah.
Though we have this saying that I know you more than you know yourself. But is it really true? You are the one that will know yourself. So first, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and jealously protect your dream from negative voices. So if your parents say something that you don't believe, okay, and move away. But share if you don't have anybody in your immediate sphere that believes in you, I said it's not. I was still saying something yesterday to someone that there are 8 billion people in this world. 8 billion. Out of that 8 billion, you're just one. It's not possible that out of 8 billion, you will not find one person that believes in you. And what you can't do is try to change your immediate environment. So if it's via the internet, if it's in your school, if it's your friend, there'll be someone that you can have a support circle with, your teachers, your mentors, your youth programs like this. There'll be online communities that can support you, because confidence and having a backbone support system is very important. But don't let the discouragement kill your fire. The fact that someone does not believe in you or does not support your dreams today does not mean that's an excuse to now say, "Oh, I'll give up on my dream." No, you give up on your dream, it's a disservice to yourself, it's a disservice to humanity. You were here for a purpose, and if you've assessed it that this is what I should be doing, jealously guard it and run with it. And another thing, I don't know if you come across the success stories of some of these artists. There's always that line of, "My parents do not believe in me, but look at me now, they're supporting me." Believe in yourself. That's where that conversation started to form for me. Once you believe in yourself, and you can win any naysayer over. Once they see that there's progress here, they'll be able to, you can win everybody over. So have a fail proof confidence plan that, okay, I've heard you, but you see, I disagree with you. Nobody can tell me otherwise because I believe in myself. So have your own support system. And out of 8 billion people, it's not possible that you will not find one person. You might be limiting yourself to your immediate environment. That is why you don't have someone that believes in your dream. Sorry, for Olami, please, I'll take your permission because I saw a question in the chat box earlier on someone saying that they wanted to be a gospel artist, and then but their parents are telling them that they can't be successful in that. Please, whoever wrote that question, I hope you're still on this call. In today's world, there are several business opportunities out there. There is a business there's something you can do for money to meet your immediate day-to-day needs. And then there are businesses you can do for passion that are currently not paying you. So the fact that in your immediate sphere of world, maybe for various reasons, those in your immediate environment are telling you that, "Oh, I don't think you're going to be a successful musician because how many gospel artists are out there?" What's the definition of success? Are we limiting success to naira and kobo? Are we looking beyond personal fulfillment? So if it's naira and kobo, if the naira and kobo people have a fulfill your naira and kobo obligation, but also try to fulfill your passion as well and your innermost goals and desires. So you don't people are that's why I said have a fail-proof confidence plan. Now, okay, I've heard you. You said I cannot make money from being this singer, but no, beyond that. And please, there are many gospel artists out there today who are successful. Yinka Alashiyori the other day held a program that she filled up the whole of Eco Hotel ballroom. Eco Hotel is a big hotel here in Lagos. There were over 10,000 people in that place. Not one person paid to be in that room. It was sponsorship. Financial Jennifer the other day held a program where over 9,000 women were in the room. It was free for all. How do I mean? Don't limit yourself by your immediate environment today. The fact that have a fail-proof plan. First of all, believe in yourself. That self-confidence. I keep saying, ladies, please, if there's something I want you to take it from me, have a fail-proof self-confidence plan. That anything you say, Aderonke Ajibola, I believe that I am this. I believe that I can be this, and I believe that I will be this, and this is how I will be this. And you work towards those your plan. Please don't. The supporters will come along the way. Everybody loves a success story. Everybody loves a success story. But if you're not successful, that's when you're going to prove them right. So please say to yourself, I want to prove you wrong. I want to prove you wrong. I can be successful doing this. And by God's grace, you will be successful doing it. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you very much, Adironke. And something I always tell young people, I always try to, every time I get to speak with young people, sometimes to get to where you want to be, you have to be a bit mad. And when I say mad, I don't mean mad as per, yeah, insane, but mad as per you know what you want to get to. I am going to make sure that I am doing everything possible to get to that final destination. Even if everybody else tells you they don't understand what you're doing, or even if they tell you that they don't believe in you, you believe in yourself. So that madness inside you is going to what's the fuel that is going to push you to where you're going to be in. So even if you have family members that don't believe in you, okay, let's say they're saying your academics is going to stay in the way. So questions that you're going to think to yourself, do I need to stay up longer? Do I need to wake up earlier to be able to accomplish certain things? Let's say it's writing, let's say it's music. Am I going to collaborate with other people who have similar backgrounds to me? So as we've mentioned, don't just limit yourself to your environment. I know I also saw a comment on maybe what if you don't have social media, you don't have a phone to be able to accomplish what you want to do. You can reach out to your teachers in school. Your teacher should be very supportive. I mean, for you to even be in this lead camp at the moment, it means that you have supportive teachers, you have a supportive school that's actually looking forward to your growth and your development. So even if maybe at home someone isn't supporting you, you can ask a teacher, you can ask a guidance counselor that, okay, you know what, let me help you to get to wherever you want to get to, or this goal you want to get to. I'm going to try to see if I can support you to do this thing. And I think on that note, Topfield College, let's try one more time. This is our last question for today. I've been scolded that we've gone a bit beyond time. So Topfield College, please, you can unmute now. I'm hoping that it will be successful this time. So that will be our final question for today, our last question. Okay. You're unmuted, so the floor is yours. I'm not sure if it's me, but I cannot hear anything at the moment. I don't know if it's just me. Can you hear anything? No. Okay. I'm not too sure what the audio problem is. Maybe, okay, I don't know. I really don't know. And I want to give other schools a chance. I know we had answered a couple of questions from you earlier on that were written in the chat room, but I think because we can't hear you, unfortunately, we will not be able to answer your question during the session. But we still have later on sessions today, and then there are still sessions tomorrow too. So maybe we will be successful then. So I'll take one more school. What school would we take? Okay, let me take GSS new extension KD. That'll be our final question. GSS new extension KD. If GSS new extension, we can do GSS GWA. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, and we're actually really behind in terms of schedule. So I think on that note, Aderonke, I'd like to thank you so much for being part of this panel today. I'm sure that everyone has learned so much. I know that there are so many questions and we could have stayed here on and on and on and on, but we need to let other panelists come on board so that it's also a beautiful session. So my name is Felami Joseph. It's been a pleasure moderating today's session. Thank you, Aderonke. I also like to thank Tino Ade. I know she had to drop off, but thank you so much, Tino Ade, for also joining in today. And thank you so much, Junior Achievement Nigeria, for this initiative and how you've been training young girls over I think 2 decades at this point in time. But thank you so much for joining today. I'm sure that you all have learned a lot. And please keep on growing, keep on learning, keep on developing yourself, stay audacious. And I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in for today's panel session. Okay, I will hand over back to Junior Achievements Nigeria. I understand that we're meant to have a keynote speaker, Mr. Olaolu. I'm not sure if he's on board at the moment before we go on our break. Is Mr. Olaolu here? If not, I'll just let the Junior Achievement team take over. Okay.
I am Simi Nwogugu. I'm the president and CEO of Junior Achievement Africa, and this is my story. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, to a very strong, independent woman who had 5 children and a full-time job. And from her, I learned how to be a strong woman. And so growing up in that household was very empowering for me. And I went to an all-girls high school, Queen's College, which is a public federal government school in Lagos, Nigeria, that also was very empowering. It, really exposed me to different women across Africa who are doing wonderful exploits and made me want to be one of them. And then I went to a women's college in the US, which really also was inspiring. So there is a thread in my story of being exposed to different women who have empowered me along my journey. And so in creating the lead camp, I wanted to give the same experience to the girls in the program. And so that really also instilled in me a sense of responsibility, that because I had these people who empowered me, it was my responsibility to pay it forward to other girls. And so that's what has really gingered me to starting the lead camp in 2001 and then starting the 10 Million African Girls program this week. Junior Achievement has been in Africa for over 40 years, and over that period of time, we've reached over 5 million young people. And the drive to focus on girls is not to stop serving boys. We have programming that are 90%, 70% boys, and what we want to do is really elevate girls to make sure that at least 50% of the girls we're serving, because we believe that Africa cannot reach its full potential if 50% of its youth population are not able to access high quality education. And so our goal is to really get all of Africa to reach its potential. So when I first brought JA to Nigeria, I realized the company program, our entrepreneurship education program, when we took it to schools, and we pitched it as business training, you're going to set up a business, you're going to make money. It got a lot of enthusiasm, from the boys. Yes, business, we're going to make money. And girls participated, but they were timid and quiet for the first couple of weeks, where they're learning different aspects of business, finance, marketing, sales, production. The novelty wears off, and really the people who stand and take the business across the finish line are those who are really committed to it. And now it's ready, and I'm excited to be launching it on International Women's Day on March 8th. So 10 million African girls, 10 MAG is what we're calling it. So it's a campaign, and the campaign is to get as many people who are committed to this vision to contribute towards making it happen. So to the girls, I congratulate you that you have come this far, and to let you know that there's nothing stopping you from achieving your dream. Your dreams are valid. You are valid. I see you. I've been in your seat, and I know that all things are possible beyond your wildest imaginations, and that we are here to support you in achieving that dream. And so do hard things. Don't be scared. Dream big, and we'll be here to catch you in those moments that you fall, and we'll dust off your wings and let you fly again.
I started school with other girls, but then now
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
If you
can.
can hear me, I want to see your emojis chat box. Okay. Yeah, I want to see your videos as well. I can see our Nima Academy Day, CAC Adu Memorial. Um, who else can I see? I can see the thumbs up of Eagles, Regal. It's so good to have you all here. I'm sure you enjoyed the first session. How was the first session for you? How was it? Let me see your reaction. Okay, I can see some reactions in the chat box. Okay, thank you so much for being here. So we have come to the second aspect of the program, and very quickly we are going to be learning something very important, something that is new to some of us, maybe not so new to some other persons, but I'm very, very sure that you're going to have an amazing time learning during all the sessions that we have outlined for you. So without further ado, I want us to continue with the program. I hope you are back to your seats, those that went on a break to grab some tea or a snack. I hope you're back on your seat. Okay, Federal Science Technical College is back. St. Louis College is back. Topfield College is back as well. So yeah, at this point, I'm going to hand over the microphone, the virtual microphone, to our moderator. She has been doing an amazing job. I know you've enjoyed the session with her, so I'm going to hand over the microphone to her and we can continue the session. Thank you all very much.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Can you all hear me? Just trying to clarify if you can hear me. If you can hear me, you could maybe do a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the very first session. Most of you doing that, people. Now we're moving on to a very interesting topic, and I know that so many of you will have heard this word artificial intelligence, but I'm sure that some of you here you've heard it, but you're not necessarily sure of what exactly it means. What exactly is artificial intelligence? So in this next session, I'll be handing over to our new speaker who's going to be talking about exploring artificial intelligence, and we're going to be talking about its practical applications, how you can learn through AI, how it's transforming industries, and how you can discover to use AI tools to brainstorm, research, as well as develop innovative project ideas. And to handle this session, Ms. Fololusho Badamosi is going to be handling this session. I will be reading out her bio so we could learn more about Fololusho Badamosi. So Folusho Badamosi is a transformation-driven leader committed to using technology and education as catalysts for growth, impact, and empowerment. She has a proven track record of leading initiatives that foster organization growth and societal impact across diverse industries, including telecommunications, fast-moving consumer goods, financial services and fintech developments, and oil and gas. As the lead for the 10 Million African Girls campaign at Junior Achiever in Nigeria, she spearheads efforts to equip young girls with education, entrepreneurship, and leadership skills, empowering them to thrive and drive change in a rapidly evolving world. Passionate about improving societal welfare and empowering individuals to fulfill their potential, Folushaw is the co-founder and trustee of Serving with Love Foundation, SWL, and she's dedicated to helping individuals to discover and maximize their potential, which led her to become a Gallup certified strengths coach, an author, and a facilitator. Currently serving on the board of directors of Swift Networks, Kusan Technologies, Intense Digital, and the advisory board of Africa Agility, Folushaw brings a wealth of experience in guiding organizations towards sustainable growth and innovation. Folushaw holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Pittsburgh and a master's degree in management information systems from George Washington University. Additionally, she's a member of the International Coaching Federation, the Forbes Coach Council, and she's also a John Maxwell Certified Team member. And she has also received certifications from prestigious institutions, including the Yale CEO College, IE Business School, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Recognized for her significant contributions to development, technology, leadership, and business, Folushaw has received numerous accolades. She was an inaugural recipient of the 2024 Young Trailblazers Award by the Ocean State Development Association and a double honoree at the 2023 Women Changing the World Awards, winning the Global Impact and People's Choice for the nonprofit categories. Additionally, she was named among the 2023 Top 50 Women in Management Africa, WIMA, and received the 2020 Seed Builders Women Impact Award. In 2023, Folushaw was also selected as an executive coach for the prestigious Obama Foundation Scholars Program for 2023 and 2024. As a sought-after speaker and thought leader, Folushaw has shared her insights on various prestigious platforms, including Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Lagos Business School, First Bank, Access Bank, Social Media Week, and more, covering a wide range of topics, including technology, social advocacy, purpose, leadership, and business. Her ability to inspire and empower audiences has established her as a respected voice in the industry. Folushaw resides in Lagos and is married with 2 children. Everyone, please give a very warm welcome to Mrs. Folushaw Badamosi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be here with you ladies today. It's so exciting. I hope that you have been enjoying the session so far, and I hope that you're making the best of it. Okay, so just like our moderator said, my name is Folushaw Badamosi, and I am here to take you through artificial intelligence. We're going to be going through very, very basic levels of artificial intelligence, and I hope that all the girls are ready. And I also hope that the facilitators in the room are ready with the devices as well so that we can get practical. Okay, so I'm just going to jump in. Thank you so much, Junior Achievement Nigeria, for having me. Junior Achievement Nigeria is like home to me. You know, I ran the organization for 3 years, and I'm currently at Junior Achievement Africa, and I love the work that we do. I especially love Lead Camp. Lead Camp is one of my favorite initiatives. So please just give yourselves a round of applause for even just being here and being selected to attend the Lead Camp. Give yourselves a round of applause. All righty. So like I said, we're going to be going through Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. And I know that some of you have heard about AI. I know that there's a lot of girls in the session, but I don't know if we can have the possibility of us answering some questions on the floor. Can anybody tell me what comes to their mind when they hear artificial intelligence? Moderators in the room, if you can help, that would be awesome. Is there anybody who can just tell me, when you hear artificial intelligence, what comes to your mind? Okay, so I see 2 schools. I see Alnima Academy, and I see GSS Kaduna. So can we please have a student from Alnima come up and respond? And then can we have a student from, let me see, there was another school I saw, I think it was GSS. Very, very quickly because of time. So when you guys hear artificial intelligence, what comes to your mind? GSS, Kaduna, Alnima Academy, let's hear from you guys. Let me know very quickly. We can't hear you, you are muted. Hold on, I think that we have to unmute you. Okay. Go ahead. Oh, I think you're still muted. Okay, so we've asked you to unmute. Sorry, darling, we cannot hear you yet.
When I hear artificial intelligence, what comes to my mind is like a robotic instrument that helps us online in order to do different things, such as search for information, go get meetings online, and some stuff that we don't know. It's actually a guide that leads us when we are trying to find out our way through the internet.
What is your name? What is your name?
Oh, you have to my Princess E confidence. Princess Manuela.
Fantastic. Can we give her a round of applause, please? You did a really good job. I would love to take all of you. I can see all of your hands are up, but we don't have enough time. Thank you for sharing that. I like I like what you said about robots, right? Because many of us, when we think about artificial intelligence, the first thing that comes to our mind is what? Robots. We're just thinking robots. Robots are moving around. Robots are doing things for us. Some of you even remember some movies that you have watched, right, that had robots in them. And that's what comes to your mind. More of you can pop your responses in the chat box if you would like. I won't have the time to take all of you to speak, but you are very free to put your responses in the chat box and I'll read them out as I go along. Thank you so much for sharing. And that is a partial definition of what artificial intelligence is. I'll be going into it deeper with you. Okay, so what is our goal for today? Our goal is that we'll learn what artificial intelligence and generative, also called Gen AI, generative artificial intelligence are. We'll see examples from real life. We'll explore how to use it responsibly, which is very important. AI responsibility, and practice turning ideas into actions. Now, I want all of you to understand what AI and generative AI are. So when people say AI to you, for you to know the difference between that and generative AI, we'll share some real world examples. We'll also explore some creative ways to use AI responsibly, and you'll be doing that in your schools as you're already there. And then we'll practice generating and refining some ideas with AI. Okay, so somebody already gave us a pretty good answer, and I'm sure that there's some more answers coming up in the chat box as well. But really, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it is really the teaching computers how to think and act like humans, right? So computers are able to learn, they're able to decide, they're able to solve problems. That's really what AI is. AI is computers acting like humans. Now, we all know that a computer cannot completely act like a human. But those things that you can automate, so things like being able to learn, being able to solve problems, to decide when you have a bunch of factors that you can choose from, AI can do that, right? Because it is essentially thinking and acting like a human. Now, I have some examples here of AI, which many of you would have seen. Many of you have seen Google Maps before. Let me see a show of hands for the people that have seen Google Maps or any sort of mapping tool before. You put something in a map and you've seen it track. Okay, I can see some of your hands going up. And you've seen it kind of just draw the path to where you are trying to get to. That is an example of AI. What about WhatsApp? Whether it's WhatsApp or any tool that you use to chat, when it suggests emojis. So maybe you are typing something and you haven't quite finished typing it yet, and it is making suggestions to you of what you would type. That is artificial intelligence. Sometimes it even does it for you in your email, right? You're trying to compose an email, you have not even finished it, and it's saying, I suggest you type this, or it's trying to suggest responses for you. What about Netflix? Netflix, after you've watched some types of movies or shows, it begins to recommend different ones to you. That is another example. What about recognition of photos, right? So maybe on Facebook, or if you use any of the social media tools, sometimes you'll notice that it is suggesting to you, oh, is this person or is this that person? That is another example of AI. What about your face unlocking your phone or unlocking your device? That is also artificial intelligence, right? So all of these things are different ways that artificial intelligence is used. Now, the way that AI works is it actually learns from data, right? So there's a lot of data out there on the internet, pictures, numbers, words, sentences, all kinds of data, and that's what AI uses. Now, it uses patterns to make decisions. The more it learns, the smarter it gets. So the more information goes onto the internet, the more data it has to pick from, the smarter the AI gets. So you can think of AI like an athlete. Some of you are athletes, you are very good at running, you are very good at long jump, you are good at running in the stack, all these different sports that I'm sure that many of you do. Think of AI like an athlete who practices every day. The more it practices, the better it gets. They say practice makes perfect, right? So the athlete who keeps practicing gets better. That's the same way AI gets better. The more data it has, the more it learns, the more questions you are asking it, the more it's having conversations with you, generative AI specifically, gets better, all right? Now, we're going to talk about generative AI specifically. Generative AI is literally like you having a conversation, right? Some of you have used things like ChatGPT before, Gemini, Perplexity, and all of those generative AI tools. And so we're going to be talking about those very, very quickly. Now, this is a very special kind of AI that really can create new things, right? So it can even create songs, ideas, pictures, words. It creates all kinds of things. Some of you have seen that there are options of generative AI where if you tell it to create an image, it actually creates a sample image for you. Some of you might have already been playing with some of those things. There is a tool called DALL-E that creates pictures, and there's just so many different types of generative AI tools these days. Now, let us think about generative AI like a chef that has tasted plenty dishes. When you give it your ingredients, your prompts, so the things that you're asking it to do, when you're asking it a question, it mixes what it has learned to cook and brings out something new and unique for you, like a new recipe from old knowledge. So AI does not copy, it actually combines. It combines different things and puts them together. Another example is generative AI is like a DJ, right? Listen to so much music and wants to create a remix. It might be the same rhythm, but there's something different about the sound. It doesn't invent from nothing. It built on what it has heard. Or you can imagine it as studying many essays in school or stories. Some of you like to read. You've read many, many books, many, many essays, many, many reports. When your teacher asks you to write one, sometimes you are using ideas from what you have read before to come up with something new. So it's not a copy. It's like you are remixing it into your own version. That is part of what generative AI does. It learns from examples and it creates original things out of those, right? Now let's talk about AI around Africa, AI around the continent. There are some examples I'm going to share. And please feel free to let me know if you have any other examples, perhaps that I haven't covered that you know are good examples. Banks using AI to detect fraud. That is a great example, right? Sometimes AI helps banks detect fraud. Farmers using AI weather apps to plan when they should plant. Health workers using AI to detect different diseases like malaria. Students using AI for homework. And I wrote ethically there because you can use AI for work if your school allows it, but only ethically. So you should not be copying and pasting. You should be brainstorming with AI. And I'll show you more about that as we go along. Now, can anybody share any other example with me? Can anybody think of examples of AI and just pop it in the chat box? Like any example of AI use around Africa, around Nigeria, around your city. You guys are coming from several schools. I have the list of all the schools here. There's so many schools here. Just give us an idea of some of the AI usage that you know. And you can type it in the chat box. So I will not have the time to take you off mute, but you can type it in the chat box because I want us to think about different solutions together. Now, while you're thinking about some of those, I'm going to do a quick live demo, okay? Showing you how to use generative AI for those that have never, ever used it before, okay? And so just give me a moment to pull up my chat GPT. Okay, so I have two questions for you, and you guys let me know which one you prefer. So should I ask AI about solving a problem in your community, or should I ask AI a question about reading? What do you ladies think? Should we ask AI about solving a problem in your community? Oh, thank you, Leonardo AI, for generating images. Thank you, guys. You're giving me some more examples. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm just going to pick B. Okay, solving problems in our community. Thank you very much, Jomab. I was actually going to use that. Jomab Premium College, tell me what state you are in. Tell me what state you are in because I want to add your state to when I am answering that question, or rather asking that Lagos state. Okay. Oladipo Alayonde School of Science, what state are you in? Tell me your state. Tell me your state. Okay, so can you all see my screen? Please confirm that you can see my chat GPT screen. Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Okay. All right, so we're going to ask a question for both Oyo State and Lagos State. So I'm going to write into my generative AI chat GPT, specifically chat box. I am a student from secondary school in Lagos State, Nigeria. Please help me come up with ideas of problems young people in my community or school are facing. Okay? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ask it to come up with something. So you can see that it's thinking and thinking. Beautiful. Can you guys see the responses? So there's a bunch of different responses that it has come up with. It says, one, education and school-related issues, right? So things like overcrowded classrooms, limited access to learning materials, high exam pressure and stress. Some of you are feeling that right now. Pressure to perform well in WAEC and JAM, poor infrastructure, limited guidance and counseling services. For health and well-being, things like mental health, poor nutrition, exposure to drugs and alcohol. I mean, these are all real life issues. Lack of education on sexual health and things like that. For safety and environment, we have insecurity, traffic issues, poor waste management, and so on and so forth. Can you see how it has given you many ideas, many different things? What you can then do is you can continue to ask it more questions. Okay, so let me know in the chat box, what do you want me to ask it now that it has come up with this list of things? Let's say that we want to come up with a campaign, right? What should we ask it? Should we ask it to provide a list for us, perhaps? Or maybe two top things? Okay, thank you, Joma. I can see your response. Okay, great. Okay, can you help come up with a short list of 5 problems most relevant in Lagos State School? Okay, so I have now asked it to narrow down to 5. Look at that, guys. It has come up with 5. It's narrowed down to 5 for me. So I can now take this 5 and I can do more with it, right? So you can now take that and either decide to do more research on each thing, or, beautiful, somebody said, how can we solve the problem? So let us now ask it. Can you tell me how we can solve these problems? Thank you for that question to my student from St. Louis Grammar School that said we should ask that. So now we've now asked it, and it's giving us solutions, right? So number 1, for overcrowded classrooms and limited resources, it's saying hire more teachers, provide additional resources like textbooks and learning materials through the government or community support, implement shift systems, so morning and afternoon sessions to reduce overcrowding. And you can see that it is giving more and more and more responses, For the high academic pressure and stress, it's saying things like organize workshops on study techniques. Some of you will see these solutions and it will give you ideas of problems that you can solve, that you can actually do on your own as a student. You don't even need anybody to help you. You can decide, okay, we're in SS2 now, we're getting ready for our mock exam, or we're in SS3. You know what? A great way for us to handle higher academic pressure and stress is to organize workshops on study techniques. Me and my friends are going to organize some, and we're going to open it up to other students in our school. And you guys begin to do that. And I mean, there's so many different things that you can do, okay? You can see that there's more things that it's giving us for the 5, and it's also giving us solutions to those 5 things, right? Great. Somebody from Kano Capital School has said something fantastic. She says, Kano, you can use AI for business ideas. Exactly. So outside of even solving problems within your community, AI can also help you come up with many business ideas. And what you do is that you keep asking more and more questions. They're called prompts. You keep going with more and more prompts, and those prompts help you narrow down to things, okay? So now let's tell it to help us create a campaign. Let's say, can you help create a campaign based on these top 5 that me and my fellow students can use for awareness? Students can use to teach people awareness of these, sorry, I'm misspelling, awareness of these issues, all right? So let's ask it to help us do that, and let's see what it says. Beautiful. Guys, look at that. It's giving us a campaign name. Voice of Students, Let's Fix Our Schools. And guess what? If you don't like that name, you can actually go and ask it, can you give me more names? Can you give me 5 names, 10 names? Can you give me more options? If you even already have a name, you can say, okay, we already have a name. This is the name. Can you build the campaign around this name? Now, you can see that for the campaign goal, it's saying to raise awareness about key challenges students face in Lagos schools and inspire actions to improve education, well-being, and school life. It's put the top 5 focus areas there. It's talking about creating posters and social media posts. And it's giving so many examples. I mean, school assembly presentations, peer-led workshops. I love this, a problem solution wall. So a wall in your school where people can go and write different ideas. Obviously, you have to get approval from your school to do that. And look, it's even giving us some more slogan ideas. Better schools, brighter futures. Our voice, our change. Speak up, fix up, level up, and so on and so forth. And you can keep going deeper. You can keep giving it more prompts, asking it more questions on things that it can help you, and together you can brainstorm. So what we're going to do is that, as I go on, we're going to turn it on all of you in your centers, and you're going to actually create some prompts in groups and ask ChatGPT a few questions so that it can help you come up with different solutions. All right? Okay. So let me get back into my slide. Okay, so now that we've done that demo, that was a community demo, I'm going to go into my next slide. So now, ladies, I want us to have our group activity, and let's think about our communities, right? I want all of you in your centers, and your facilitators should be ready to help you. We don't have enough devices for everybody, but you guys can share devices. I want you to go into small groups and begin to think about challenges in your community, and let AI help you come up with a way to solve that problem, right? So you are all in different states, you are all in different schools, you're all in different communities. Begin to ask ChatGPT using some really good prompts, project ideas of problems that you can solve within your community, okay? And then we're going to have one group share, actually more than one, if we can, share what they were able to come up with, okay? So I'm going to turn it to the house now. Can you please confirm that the facilitators are ready to help the students with this exercise? Please confirm. I can see all your beautiful faces. Okay, thank you, Golden Light School. I saw your hand. All righty, I'm seeing that some of you are ready to do that already. Thank you so much. So let me know when we have started, okay? I want to know when the facilitators have started to help you with the gadget so that we can begin. Just let me know by either popping it in the chat box or doing your thumbs up sign. And this is our assignment, okay? Our assignment is we're doing this group activity, solving for challenges in our community, brainstorming with AI. Okay, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. Let me give you about 5-10 minutes. Let me put on my timer. Faith, please confirm that everybody has begun and everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm putting my timer on for 5 minutes to start while you're all doing that. Thank you for the responses in the chat box. So, just come up with different areas of solutions, how AI can help you solve it, just do all of that prompts, put all of those prompts into your ChatGPT in your school as you are in groups now, and then you'll come back and share with us what you were able to come up with, so that you can see how AI can really help you. Generative AI can really help you come up with ideas and ways to solve problems. All right? So I am counting the time. Are we all using our devices and brainstorming in groups? I can see that some of you are, but it looks like some of you are not. Okay, I can see thumbs up coming from some of the schools. Some of you are, but some of you are not. Facilitators in the room, can you please help so that everybody can get a taste of this, please? Thank you to those giving the thumbs ups. I can see you. All right, so let your facilitators know the prompts. If you cannot have a device on your own, let the facilitators know what prompts you want to put into ChatGPT so that it can help you come up with some ideas, okay? We are rounding up very soon. We only have a few minutes left, and I want some people to present what they were able to come up with, okay? We have about 2 more minutes. Okay, so as we begin to round up, is there any school that is ready to share? Is there anybody that is done and would like to share what they were able to come up with? You can come to the microphone and we will unmute you. Okay, Joma Premium College, I see that you're ready. Can you please help unmute Joma and Rehoboth so that they can share what they've come up with? Okay, looks like we had an echo, but I see 4 schools with their hands up. So can you please help us, Jan, host? I think that will be Toluwani. Can you please help us unmute Rehoboth first so that they can share what they've come up with?
Hello, please keep quiet.
Good day, everyone. My name is Adegun Washimoy from my Robot High School.
Sorry, Adibola, we can't hear you anymore. I think there was an echo, so they're trying to fix that echo. Toluwani, can she go ahead? Please let us know when.
Yes, she can go ahead, but they would have to make sure that they are disconnected from the other device if they're joining with 2 devices.
Okay, all right. So Rehoboth High School, if you have any device in there, can you mute it so that we don't have an interference? Okay. You can go on ahead now by unmuting and speaking. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Yeah. Good day, everyone. My name is Adegun Washimoy from my Robot High School. Now, I'm talking about insecurity in Nigeria. There is insecurity in Nigeria in the sense that there is no security, like bad roads, and if you want to travel, you'll be scared of passing through road, passing through land for transportation. Either you can just go by air transportation, but the price is highly costly, and that's why we have insecurity in Nigeria. Number two, we have bad roads. Governments are meant to like provide good roads amenities, but instead of them constructing good roads, they embezzle the money for their own self-interest, and that's form of. And number three is that we have corruption. Corruption in the sense that our leaders are not trustworthy. What they're meant to do, they did not do it, and something like that. Thank you.
Okay, so you've not told us how you are going to solve any of the problems that you've come up with. What you're supposed to do is you are supposed to prompt your generative AI so that together with your classmates, you are all coming up with solutions. So is there any school that is ready with solutions? Thank you for sharing, Rehoboth, but you need to do a little bit more. So let your moderator, facilitator in your class help you with that. Do we have any school that is ready to share solutions that they've come up with? You will share the problem and then you will share the solutions. If there's such a school, can you please come off mute and share with us, please? Thank you, Rehoboth. I can see that you are trying to come up with solutions. So okay, I think St. Dominic's might be next. So who's going to come off mute and share with us? Okay, will you pop it in the chat box if you are ready to come off mute so that, okay, Topfield is ready. Thank you, Topfield. Okay, Topfield, where we are asking you to unmute so that you can share. Please unmute and share. And after that, we can go for GSS Gwagwalada. All right, go ahead. Topfield, you are unmuted, but we cannot hear you. For some reason, even though you are unmuted, we can't hear anything that you're saying. Okay, let's see. Let's go with many of you are saying that you're ready. Okay, so let's go with GSS. I think this might be GSS. I'm not sure if this is GSS Jigawa. So either Joma Premium College or GSS, any of the GSSs, if you are ready, please just come off mute and let's hear from you. Okay, so you have multiple devices, so you need to mute some of them so that we don't have an interference. And then when you're presenting, please tell us your name first and then present. Thank you.
My name is Sonegla. And I asked ChatGPT to give us like solutions on qualified teachers in Ajegule, because teachers in Ajegule don't have qualified teachers. So ChatGPT gave me a reply. Teachers need to have like training and development skills so that they're able to organize workshop and mentorship so they're able to speak to their students in class, and also they need to prepare before entering the class. And also teachers need to be monitored, and also evaluation, observe classes, collect students' feedback, and review teachers' performance. Teachers also need motivation and incentive. That we should recognize our teachers, give them gifts so they'll be supported and be able to teach at the students.
Fantastic.
And also the government should also
go on, yes.
be involved in the government should also be involved in supporting the teachers by, let us say, they'll be bringing PTA so that the parents and also be talking to the teachers so that the teachers will be motivated. So this was ChatGPT gave me.
Thank you so much. Are you happy with those responses? So the reason that I ask that is, whenever it gives you responses, you can keep giving it more prompts. You can keep asking it more. So for instance, if he gave you something and you're like, I want a little bit more, or I want more details or whatever, you can actually continue to ask. Thank you so much for sharing, Jumab. Okay, I see that Topville College has said, to solve the problem of bad roads, we should have community road maintenance days where young people will participate in pathing minor sections of the road. Okay, awesome. Well done. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Can we have one more school present before we continue? There's so many schools with their hands up, but the fastest to unmute and start speaking can present. So let's see who that would be. I'm also seeing that some of you are putting your responses in the chat box. Thank you so much. Okay, so who's going to go next? We're asking some of you to unmute. So if you can quickly unmute, you can go next. Okay, Kano Capital Girls School, that would be you. Go ahead, please.
My name is Adama. I am challenge faced in Nasarawa Economic State on poor road conditions. So, many streets are not properly treated, leading to flooding during the rainy season and difficult movement. So,
okay, so what are the solutions that you have come up with? Let's know what solutions you have been able to come up with your generative AI. Were you able to come up with any?
Yes.
Okay, so share with us, please.
Rehabilitation, proper waste disposal, stable electricity, improve water supply, strengthen security, upgrade drainage system, traffic management, and encourage community participation.
All right, thank you so much. Go on.
Under the road rehabilitation, the government and local authorities should repair and maintain inner roads regularly. I think that would be another problem-solving way. Then provide more and organize community cleanup exercises every month. And partner with power companies to improve supply and encourage residents to use solar energy as backup. Improve water supply. We have repair boreholes and extend water pipelines to reach all houses. Strengthen security. We have increased police patrols, install street lights, and encourage community watch groups. Then traffic management. Create alternative routes and enforce traffic laws to reduce congestion. Residents should form associations to report issues and support government efforts. Then clean and widen existing drainages to prevent flooding. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let's give her a round of applause. So I'm loving what I'm seeing in the chat box. I'm seeing many solutions, many problems. So there's a problem here of soil pollution. Topville College says, solution is to use the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Another problem here of waste management, increase waste collection vehicles, promote recycling and waste sorting. And that's actually something that you students can even do yourselves. And there's just all kinds of different problems that we are solving and solutions in the chat box. So I think you guys have an idea now of how to brainstorm with ChatGPT. Okay, so let me get right back into my slides so that we can begin to round up because of time. Okay, so ladies, you can see that AI is very, very powerful, but we must use it wisely, okay? Ethics are very, very important in AI. So the ethical use of AI is a very, very major topic. What can you do within your own power, right? First of all, don't spread false information. Don't use AI to cheat or harm other people. AI should help you. It should not replace things. So it should not replace your thinking. So when you are giving prompts or you are asking questions using generative AI, you should have thought about something. You might have brainstormed with your group and what you are asking it is what it's then responding to, right? It's not like you are using it to replace your own thinking. It should make your thinking better, because AI is a real good tool for innovation and problem solving. Now, when it comes to ethical and responsible use of AI, you must always follow the rules wherever you are. So if in your school they say don't use AI for your homework, please do not use AI for your homework. If you are in a place where they have given you guidelines, please follow the guidelines. Also, do not share personal information using generative AI. Don't go on ChatGPT and put all of your personal information inside. That is not safe, okay? You have to be very, very, very careful. Don't put things that you don't want out there. Just the same way that you are safe online. I know many of you have done classes about being safe online. It's the same way that you should also be safe when you are using AI. Remember that AI empowers your leadership and your creative thinking. Now, AI can be used to help people learn, work smarter, solve community problems, and good leaders use AI to make life better for themselves and for others, okay? So sometimes you might even maybe you need more information on something. You can go and ask AI to help you with more information, all of those kinds of things. But it's not that you should be using it to replace your own thinking, okay? Now, I really like this quote that says, the future will belong to those who can use knowledge, creativity, and technology to make the world a better place. As you go on with Lead Camp, the rest of today and tomorrow, different things you'll be taught and different ideas might come up in your mind about how you can even use AI to come up with better solutions or different things. Please make sure that you feel free to use AI for that, explore, play with it more, okay? So that you are able to get more and more out of it. Now, I'm going to read a few more responses in the chat box, which are really, 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 really good. So this one is really good. Jomab Premium College says that they asked ChatGPT on how to solve the issue of overpopulation. And the solution was that it's not that the challenge is really about too many people. It's about too much concentration in one place. So spread opportunities, plan smarter, and educate strategically. I love that. Well done, Jomab. Let's see. What else do we have here? So we have another one about insecurity, which is a major one that has come up a lot today. And there are different solutions that are coming up with that, immediate fixes and long-term fixes as well. There's a lot also about waste disposal systems. There's so much about that. And there are so many different solutions, community sorting and collection. Some of you can even come up with those kinds of things in the communities that you're living in. And, as you have gone through the Junior Achievement Program and you are learning about entrepreneurship, learning about how to start a business. Honestly, guys, from the things I've seen today, the common problems here, there are many things that you guys can come up with. I really like this one. Unique College Akure says, we asked ChatGPT about solutions to rape in Nigeria. I like that you girls are really thinking. And these are some of the responses. Comprehensive sex education. So teach boundaries, teach respect and gender equality early in schools, run public campaigns. So constantly running awareness campaigns, about what sexual assault is and the importance of consent, educate boys and men so that you can challenge harmful stereotypes and promote healthy masculinity, and then address common rape myths, things like clothing, victim blaming through media and community dialogues. I mean, that is just awesome. Thank you, guys. You're coming up with so many ideas that I know will help you as you continue to grow and thrive. Thank you all so much for sharing. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor very, very quickly for, let's just take one question because I know that we don't have time. Somebody else is writing something here about period education. That's a great one as well. That's a great problem for girls. Period education. AI can help you come up with different solutions that match Nigeria's, context to solve some of those problems. So can we take one question? I would suggest that you pop the question in the chat box because of time. Can we have one question very quickly in the chat box? My eye is on the chat box so that I can see the question. Do we have one question? Okay, so you guys are coming up with more solutions and I just love it. Oh, look at this one. Smart leaking detection for water quality monitoring and community awareness. Fantastic. More and more and more ideas. That is from GSS in Plateau State. Okay, so do we have any questions from me before I close? Do we have any questions? Any questions at all? Jan team, can I please ask that you please save the comments in in the chat box so that we can, just have them as part of our data from this session. Toluwani, if you could just help me with saving the comment. Okay. So there are some questions here that I really like. Somebody has asked a question about the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do another fun exercise. So let us ask ChatGPT, okay, to help us answer that question. So that question that you just asked, I've copied and pasted it into my ChatGPT. What is the difference between AI and machine learning and deep learning? I'm going to say, please keep it simple. Okay, so it gives us a simple response that we can all understand. It's thinking. All right, great. Can you guys see it? So number one, it says AI is the broad concept of machines being able to perform tasks that normally need human intelligence. Some of the examples that we gave before. Think of it as the big idea, teaching machines to think and make decisions. Machine learning, on the other hand, is a subset of AI where machines learn from data. So things like email spam filters, what we saw earlier about Netflix with the movie recommendations, teaching the machine by showing it examples instead of giving it rules. And last but not the least, deep learning, which was the last one that you asked, that one is also a subset, but a subset of machine learning. And it uses artificial neural networks because you know that the brain has networks, right? Neural pathways. So this uses artificial neural networks to learn from large amounts of data. So things like Siri, the facial recognition that we spoke about, and all of that. And it gave us a very simple analogy. It says AI is the whole field, teaching machines to be smart. ML, machine learning, is a way AI learns from examples. And DL is a special ML method that uses brain-like networks to learn very complex things. Fantastic. Okay. Let me do one more. I'm seeing that there's a lot of questions here. Somebody said, does AI make mistakes? AI absolutely makes mistakes. And do you know why AI makes mistakes? Because AI is getting data from somewhere. So it is literally whatever it sees that it will say. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. But let's ask ChatGPT, does AI make mistakes? Let's see what it says. Can you see that? AI can definitely make mistakes. It's not perfect, and here is why. In simple terms, it's using data. And if the data is wrong or biased, then it's going to give you the wrong response. It's also limited understanding. So AI tries to think like a human, but it's not quite a human, right? So sometimes it gets things wrong. Complex situations, AI can struggle with situations that it has never seen before. And sometimes it also misinterprets what it says. There's something called AI bias, and that's another thing. Okay, I'm going to do one last one, which is, let's see. Somebody says, how can I pick a career that will not be eradicated by AI? I love that question because it shows that you guys are really thinking, because as you are like this, some of the careers now might not exist in the next few years. So let us ask ChatGPT and let's see what it says. How can I ensure that I pick a career that will not be eradicated by AI? Let's see what it says. All right. Number one, it says focus on human-centric skills. So AI is good at data patterns, but it's actually bad at things that human beings excel at. So things like emotional intelligence, people skills, critical thinking outside of, problems that computers can solve, creativity, making art, designing, innovation. Look for jobs that require judgment and adaptability, okay? So things that really require judgment, things like being able to be a really good teacher. There's a level of management that also, AI cannot replace at the moment because it needs human to be able to think through things through. This one I love. It says, stay tech savvy and keep learning. Ladies, the only way that you will pick a job or a career that AI will not eliminate is for you to stay on top of what is happening, right? So understand what is happening in the world, understand what is happening with technology, stay ahead of it instead of using, whenever you have the opportunity to use the internet. I know all of you don't have the same opportunities. Do not use it just to browse and look at random things. Use it to learn. So keep learning, because listen, it is lifelong learning for all of us. Even those of us that got our degrees many, many years ago, we are continuing to learn. We're on lifelong learning so that, we stay on top of what is going on and we continue to upskill ourselves. So I want you to always think that you must continue to upskill yourselves. Oh, you guys are asking a question that I must answer because it's very important. Can we use AI for our personal life decisions? The answer is no. You cannot and you should not, because remember that it is using data from different places. What if it's wrong? Can AI help your emotional life? The answer is also no, because things that have to do with emotions, you don't want a machine giving you information. Somebody said, where does AI get data from? And that would be my last one. And the reason is because I want you to see where it gets data from, so that you know that you should not be asking it questions to do with your emotions, because it's getting data from out there. Can you see that? Public information on the internet. That's where it gets data from. Things that are freely available online. Special data sets created by researchers, company or organizational data. So some companies have their own built-in AI, and that's where it gets it from. It gets it from the data of the company, and also from user interactions with permission. Sometimes when you are doing certain things online, it would ask you if you are okay with this being used publicly. You know, it uses that kind of data. So really, it's from free information on the internet. This number one, public information on the internet. So you should be extremely careful with what you are asking AI for. Yes, Siri and Alexa are both examples of AI. Okay. Thank you, ladies, so much. You guys are just such intelligent, phenomenal young women. Please clap for yourselves. I'm clapping for you over here. Well done, well done, well done. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope that you've learned. Ladies, keep learning. You know, AI keeps getting better and better, improving. So you also keep learning, keep understanding what it does. And remember that you should not use AI for personal advice. You should not use it for personal, as in, I have a personal pressing problem and I need advice. Please talk to a trusted individual. Do not go and ask AI about questions that have to do with your personal life. Please talk to a trusted individual. Thank you all so much. Over to you, JA Nigeria team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. Folushaw Badamosi. I'm sure that our participants have learned so much from you today. They are all clapping. I know that you guys have had such a remarkable session, and it's been an awesome, spectacular day one. And I'm sure you all have learned so much. So remember, AI keeps on developing, it keeps on changing. So keep on learning and growing so that you can stay up to date. But don't become too reliant on it that you start asking it for personal advice and things. Be very safe when you're using artificial intelligence. It's just meant to support you. You're not meant to rely on it entirely. I'm sure you all have learned so much today. So as we move on, I would like to hear from a couple of students. I know I can see your beautiful faces. Who would like to share? What have you learned today? I would love to know, what have you learned from today's session? I'm seeing, so if your hand is raised up, I would assume you want to speak. So I'm asking you two questions. So I would like to know what you've learned for today. And then apart from that, you can also, for tomorrow's session is going to be phenomenal. So for tomorrow's session, you can start leaving your questions related to health, because there's going to be a health fireside chat tomorrow morning. And then later on in the day, there's going to be a session on vision board. So a lot on health and reflection and mental health. That's all about for tomorrow's session. So for today, I would love to hear from some students. What have you learned in today's session? And then for tomorrow, you can send your questions to your teachers, so you can start asking questions related to health as well as vision board planning. Okay, so I think let's start with CAC Adu Memorial. So who would like to go? Mention one thing you have learned from today's session. I want to see if I can get everybody's hand that is raised up. So one thing you have learned from today's session, you can pick a student from your class to represent your school. What is one thing you have learned from today's session? Maybe you may need to put off a microphone because there's a bit of feedback. Okay, you are currently muted. CSE Adu Memorial, you're currently muted. You may need to repeat what you said. Let me unmute you. Could a teacher assist with that so you could mention what you've learned today? Our dear teachers, could you please help unmute CSE Adu Memorial so that she can give her feedback? Awesome. Okay, what did you learn today, darling? Is someone else using okay. Could you repeat what you said? Could you repeat what you said?
I learned that AI can rule the world in collaboration between human beings.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, CAC Adumemora. Thank you. Well done. Okay, St. Dominic's High School, Akure. Let's have you next. What did you learn for today? St. Dominic's High School, Akure. From either this session or the session before, I know we have some schools that joined later on, but what did you learn? From any of the sessions we had today? St. Dominic's High School, Akure, where are you? Awesome. Oh, we can't hear you. Teacher, could you please help to check the audio levels? I see she's unmuted, but I can't hear anything. It would be lovely if you could assist with that so we could hear her feedback. St. Dominic's High School. I would love to hear her feedback. I can't hear anything. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear anything at the moment. I'm thinking it's a microphone. Maybe if a speaker is being used, it could be disconnected. I'm not sure what it could be. But we'll come back to you, darling. So don't worry. If you can't eventually speak, type your answer in the chat room, but we can't hear you right now. Okay, don't worry, we'll come back to you. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've learned so much for today. Okay, I'm seeing more schools hands up. Who do I go to? They have 18 hands up. All right, let's do Oladipo, Olayande School of Science. What did you learn for today? Oladipo, Olayande School of Science. Would you like to share? What did you learn today? Okay, as I wait for that, I'll read some people's responses in the chat room. So Jomab Premium College says, my name is Immaculate Shadu from Jomab. I learned that we should believe in ourselves and we should have self-confidence. Awesome, awesome. Self-confidence is extremely important as a young person. Thank you very much, Immaculate, for sharing. Okay, let's see. The host is not allowing us to unmute. Okay, let me unmute you. I would unmute you now so that you can speak. Okay, you're unmuted actually, but I can't hear you. I see you're unmuted, but I don't hear anything. So I think you may need to check the microphones option you're using. So for those we are not hearing, you would see a section where it says audio, and then you will see the type of microphone that is being used. That could be the problem why we are not hearing you. So Oladipo, Oladipo School of Science, Olayande School of Science. You're unmuted, but you may need to just check your audio settings. Same thing with the previous school that I had spoken about. I'll read more responses in the comments. So from Apostolic Faith Secondary School, my name is Ayeko Oluwaseyi. I learned that I should always speak up and be confident. From Joma Premium College, my name is Lawal Nimota. I learned that sharing my personal information to AI is not safe and very dangerous. My name is Favor Paul from JOMAP. I learned that comparison is the killer of joy and we should not compare ourselves with other people. Fatima Muhammad from GGC Kano. I learned about artificial intelligence and how to prompt ChatGPT. You guys are beautiful students. I'm seeing that you guys have learned so much for today. My name is Tade Angel. I learned that I should be confident, never give up, be bold, work on myself. Okay, Oladipo Olayande, School of Science, let's hear you. Please unmute yourself. I'd love to hear your voice. I hear that it's working now. Please go ahead. Where are you? Okay, I've asked you to unmute, so if you would like to unmute, please, the floor is yours.
Okay. So there's a particular quote which I learned from that says the future will belong to those who can hold knowledge in its market knowledge more better. And I hold on to this so much because it inspires me to become more of myself because I know this like I can make the world a better place for me and my colleagues as a girl. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much. What's your name, darling?
My name is Amira, Raji Amira.
I didn't get that, sorry. Could you repeat yourself?
I said my name is Raji Amira.
Raji, nice to meet you, Raji. Thank you so much. Well done, well done. Okay, which school should we go with next? Let's go with GSS GWA GWA. GSS GWA GWA. As I wait for you to unmute, Topfield College, my name is okay. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Eke Adeze from JSS Gwawa. So I learned that we don't need to be rich, famous, or known to make a difference in the society. And we also learned that in everything we do, we need to understand why we do it. Thank you, ma.
Well done, well done, well done, well done. You guys are beautiful students. Okay, the next school that I would call upon is St. Louis Grammar School. But before that, let me read some responses in the comments. My name is Aisha from Topfield College. I learned that I should speak up for myself and be confident. GSS Chuduwada from Plateau State. I learned to speak up any idea that I have I learned to speak up on any idea that I have and also believe in myself and have self-confidence. From Golden Light School, Fatima Lawal and Fatima Mood learns that to achieve a bigger goal, you have to start small and now. Very important. Ahmed Aliyah from Joma Premium College, I learned that whenever I am having low self-esteem, I should believe in myself. Justin Tanko Afinki Amos from Government Day Secondary School in Jalingo. I have learned that I should not share my personal or emotional information with artificial intelligence. My name is Owolewa Precious from St. James CAC Ilorin. I learned that it is important to create self-confidence in myself. Darasimi Oyedele from Apostolic Faith Secondary School has learned that I shouldn't use social media for only entertainment. I should also use it to learn and build up myself. Ake Adaze from GSS Gwagwa, I learned that we don't need to be rich, famous, and known to make a difference in society. I'll go back to reading, but let's do St. Louis Grammar School. St. Louis Grammar School, the floor is yours. What did you learn today? Okay, I see. Okay, if you can't speak, I see what you wrote on the chat room. My name is Abisola Orolaki. I learned that you should have an idea of what you want to go into first, and then you can use AI to build your points together. And then when it comes to choosing your career, go for what you have passion for and not what people want for you. Very important. Let's do St. James CAC Ilori. Who would like to answer? What did you learn today? St. James CAC Ilori. I can see you guys. What did you learn today? St. James CSC, Lori. You may need to speak a bit louder, dear.
I'm from St. James CSC Senior Secondary School. I learned that in our career we should create confidence and be boldness and develop good things in every activities. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do GGC. Well done. Well done. Well done. Let's do GGC Kano. What did you learn today? GGC Kano. Okay, I see someone going to the laptop. What did we learn today? You're muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, you just need to accept to be unmuted. Then you can repeat what you said. Great.
Wait.
What did you learn today?
We learn how to build confidence and self-esteem, and also how to use artificial intelligence and ChatGPT.
PT. Yes. Awesome. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Let's clap for her. Thank you. Let's do Federal Technical College, Uyo. What did we learn today? Federal Technical College, Uyo. What did we learn today? You're muted. Okay, let's unmute you now. You may need to unmute yourself. Just accept my invitation to unmute. Awesome.
Yeah, speak up. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I learned today that although AI is powerful, that it can also make mistakes. I will be sure of what we get from AI.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, I'll go back. Thank you. Before we move on back to hearing your voices, let me read more responses from the chat room. From Ilorin Grammar School, Olatunji Balkis says, from Ilorin Grammar School, Kwara, I have learned that I should be confident, build networking with people, and speak up in all situations. Girls are leading the change. Very, very true. From Federal Technical College, we learned that AI is more of an advantage to the society. From GGSS New Extension, Goni KD, my name is Idoko Sandra. I learned to pursue my dream irrespective of the challenges around me. Awesome. My name is Areminu Mercy from Juma Premium College. I have learned about different AI tools like ChatGPT, CCAI, etc. I am Angela Ambuno from Government Science Secondary School, Jalingo, Taraba State. I learned that we should not allow AI to make decisions for us. My name is Apan Kezia. I learned that we should start small and start now. I have also learned that we don't need to have a big title, e.g. head girl, before we speak up. Very true. You don't need to have all the biggest titles in the world to be able to speak up or make a difference in your community and your society. Goodness from Geomab, I learned that to develop skills, we should learn from someone who knows it and apply it. Loveth Alawiye, I learned that we should be excellent and consistent in everything we do and every area of our life. Irene from Geomab, I have learned how to use AI properly and how to choose a career prospects based on my decision and passion, not based on people's opinions. Chidindu from Topfield College, I learned that we should get counsels from others. I learned that I should plan and believe in ourselves. Mirabel from Federal Technical College, Uyo. I learned that although AI is powerful, it can also make mistakes. Okay, let's do Regal High School before we go back to the chat. Regal High School, what did you learn today? Regal High School. I can see you guys. Who wants to speak? Regal High School. Awesome.
I learned from Miss Tinu Ade Daniel that regardless being an extrovert or introvert, my voice I should always be confident, stay strong, and no matter how little I am, I should bring out something in myself, no matter who I am or the position I stand in.
Yes, well done, well done. Let's give her a round of applause. So even if you're an introvert, your voice still matters and you can still work. Well done, well done. Let's hear from Unique International School Akure, Ondo State. Unique International School Akure, Ondo State. What did you learn today? Unique International School Akure, Ondo State. What did we learn? Okay, if Unique International School is not ready, let's do Britswat International School. I hope I pronounced your school's name properly. I think that's meant to be Brightwat. I'm not too sure. Brightwat International School. What did we learn today?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Unique International School. Let's go. What did we learn?
I learned that I should believe in myself and keep pushing. And people not believing in me is a motivation for me to put more effort in what I'm doing. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's give her a round of applause. Well done. Well done. Well done. Okay. Britswat International School. Please go ahead. Let's do you now. What did we learn? I can't hear you, dear. Teachers, could you please check the audio settings? Let's just make sure the microphone is working because I can't hear her. Could you try saying something? It's not going through. Maybe teacher, if you could disconnect the microphone from the speaker and then just directly change the microphone setting to directly with the laptop, I think it would work. Let's try again. I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. You know what? Could you write, I'm sure you're saying something amazing. Could you write what you want to say in the chat room just so I can read it out for you? Hmm? Type what you wanted to say in the chat room, but we can't hear you. But I'm sure you've learned something amazing today. But type your response in the chat room and I would read it out. So teachers, if you could help type her response in the chat room so I can read out her response so everyone can hear it, that would be beautiful. Thank you so much. Which other schools can, okay, let's do Merit Secondary School. What did we learn? Merit Secondary School. You need to unmute yourself.
My name is Oluwaseyi from Mary Secondary School. What I learned today is that we should believe in ourselves and aspire to acquire our dreams no matter what comes our way, and we should tackle any obstacles, and we should gain support from positive people around us.
Awesome. Thank you
Thanks.
so much, Oluwaseyi. Well done. Let's clap for her. Okay, let's try International School again. I don't know if you could type in the chat room because the audio wasn't working. But as we wait for that, I'll read more responses in the comments. My name is Sado Immaculate. I learn we should not give up easily, no matter how difficult the challenges may be. My name is Precious Ibude from Faith Baptist College. I learned that for me to be enough and achieve my goals as a girl, I should be myself. I shouldn't compare myself to another person, and I should not release personal information to artificial intelligence. I am Mariam from Baptist. Will you be my mentor? Maybe junior achievements. If I don't know, if anyone that wants to connect, I think maybe you could share how they could connect with me. I don't know, but I would love to. I don't know, Mariam from Gombe Baptist Academy. I would love that if that's something that you're interested in. I think I would also put my LinkedIn in the chat room for anybody who is interested. Your teachers could maybe reach out. I don't know how that will happen, but anyone who wants to hear from me later on, that's fine. But goodness, okay. Okay, I think I missed that. My name is Gemba Dorcas from ST James CAC Lorry. I learned that I should not stop learning, to always stay curious and to get knowledge from other people. Oladejo Mariam from JMAT Premium College. I learned that we should stand firm to what we believe and speak positive things to ourselves. Rufaida Kabi from GGSS Guinea, Kano. I have learned how to talk in public. Beautiful. Favor Okoro, I learned to impact knowledge to the society and also to stand strong in what I do. Who else? Lillian August, I learned that AI cannot help us in our emotional feelings. Sunday Gladys from German Premium College, I learned that AI brings information from different sources to give us our results, which can be accurate and sometimes can make mistakes. From Eagles Academy, I learned that self-confidence, I should learn to work on leave our comfort zone so we can learn how to choose our careers wisely. This is from Precious and Favor, who are in SS3 in Eagles Academy, Lokoja. Thank you so much, Precious and Favor. Florence Sunday, I learned to speak out. It may be the idea that will bring a change in the community. Very, very true. Hafsat Muhammad from GGSS GG New Kano. I learned how to speak in public without fear. Okay, let's do more schools. Let me see whose hands are up. Victory Academy, let me hear from you. Victory Academy. Victory Academy, I would love to hear from you. What did you learn today? We have 3 more minutes and then we call it a day for today. Victory Academy, what did you learn? Are we speaking? Victory Academy. Okay. I think Anne from Bridgewater International School, she's given her response. I'll read out what she was trying to say. My name is Anne Adu from Brightway. Okay, it's Brightway. From Brightway International School, Nasarawa. I learned that we should start small, start now, don't wait for a perfect condition or permission, and never compare yourself, rather stay focused. Thank you so much, Anne. I'm really happy that we're able to hear what you said. Maria Mohammed from GGSS GGU, I learned that AI can help us in getting solutions to problems. Arutu Ikmat from Oladipo Alayande School of Science, and I learned that we should always improve ourselves in whatever situation we find ourselves. Mercy Johnson, I learned that even if people look down on you, you should not give up, but try to do better, and also learned that AI can solve problems, not all. Okay. Okay, who else would like to speak? Faith Baptist College, have we heard from you? I'm not sure. Faith Baptist College, you can speak. We have 1 more minute. Faith Baptist College. Okay. Mamuna Hamza from GGC Kanu. I learned that AI can help with learning, but not issues related to emotions. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, on that note, I know that we can go on and on and on and on and on how beautiful today's session is. I'm sure you all have learned a lot, and I know that tomorrow is even going to be even better. Okay, Onye, let me do Purple Crown. I hadn't heard from him. Purple Crown College, Enugu, Onye. I learned that I should not allow other people make decisions on matters that affect me. And success has many friends, and I must succeed. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Onye. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. As I mentioned before, tomorrow's session, we're going to be talking. I wouldn't be here, but I'm sure you guys are going to have a peaceful session with the moderator for tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing 2 things. We're going to be talking about, actually, I think we're going to be doing 3 things. 3 things. So tomorrow is really packed. Miss Faye Dara Idowu is going to be your moderator for tomorrow. And tomorrow, you're going to be learning about health. You're going to be learning about emotional intelligence. You're also going to be learning about vision board planning. So any questions you have related to health, please give it to your teacher so your teachers can share with the JA team and they will relay with our speakers for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be multi-packed, and I'm sure that you all have learned so much today and have been greatly inspired. It's been so awesome moderating today's session for day one. I'm so happy that I was able to be part of this with you all, and I hope you were able to learn so much today. My name is Feolami Awe Joseph. I've been the moderator for this session, and I wish you all the very best, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll be handing over now to the JA team. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so JA, over to you now. Or Faith, or Toluwani. Okay, I see Toluwani is on the call. Okay, I think as we wait for them to come back, okay, awesome. Thank you.
I started school with other girls, but then now they are married. My name is Laurie Tijani. My story began in Kano State. We moved to Lagos State. When we moved to Lagos, I was living with my parents. My parents couldn't afford my school fees, and then I couldn't go to school. I was just at home helping my mom. In 2009, I started schooling, homeschool in James Preparatory Mission School. I got to have opportunity to meet some students from Readiness International Secondary School. They came, like, they brought books, food, and everything for us. And then they were like, okay, I should lead them to my community. And from there, I think that's when I started having interest in race. Mrs. Buckley was like, are you interested in being one of the students in race? I was like, yes, just like that. I got into Redeemers International Secondary School on scholarship, sponsorship. I started in Redeemers from JS1. And then from there, I met Mr. Ogona during the entrepreneurship, the business we started with other students in SS2. Yes. That's the first time I met him. And then the second time was during my application to African Leadership University. The first time when Mrs. Bankole told me, oh, which university do you want to go to? I was just looking at her. I was like, why is she asking me this question? Am I even allowed to go to university? Because the kind of community I come from, many girls don't have that kind of opportunity. I started school with other girls, but then now they are married. She spoke to Mr. Ugona, and he was like, I can apply to African Leadership University. That's how I got access to ALU. The process was tough, but I feel like because of the person I had, Mr. Achibe, it was kind of easier for me to get in. Mr. Agora has played a lot of roles in my life, in my growth, in my journey, because it's through his access that I got the African Leadership Scholarship. It's through his access that I was able to attend the Lead Camp 2022. There are so many things I learned there that I've never came across. One of the things is vision board. Yes, that's my first time hearing vision board. So we still have hopes for Girls Child, and seeing how non-government organization and other society are evolving. Girls Child are getting more access to education. To every girl out there, it is not too late to achieve your dreams. And it is not too late to start something. You can learn a skill, or you can even start a little business in that place you are. The little steps, that's what counts to the bigger ones.
I am Simi Nwogugu. I'm the president and CEO of Junior Achievement Africa, and this is my story. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, to a very strong, independent woman who had 5 children and a full-time job. And from her, I learned how to be a strong woman. And so growing up in that household was very empowering for me. And I went to an all-girls high school, Queen's College, which is a public federal government school in Lagos, Nigeria, that also was very empowering. It, really exposed me to different women across Africa who are doing wonderful exploits and made me want to be one of them. And then I went to a women's college in the US, which really also was inspiring. So there is a thread in my story of being exposed to different women who have empowered me along my journey. And so in creating the lead camp, I wanted to give the same experience to the girls in the program. And so that really also instilled in me a sense of responsibility, that because I had these people who empowered me, it was my responsibility to pay it forward to other girls. And so that's what has really gingered me to starting the lead camp in 2001 and then starting the 10 Million African Girls program this week. Junior Achievement has been in Africa for over 40 years, and over that period of time, we've reached over 5 million young people. And the drive to focus on girls is not to stop serving boys. We have programming that are 90%, 70% boys, and what we want to do is really elevate girls to make sure that at least 50% of the girls we're serving, because we believe that Africa cannot reach its full potential if 50% of its youth population are not able to access high quality education. And so our goal is to really get all of Africa to reach its potential. So when I first brought JA to Nigeria, I realized the company program, our entrepreneurship education program, when we took it to schools, and we pitched it as business training, you're going to set up a business, you're going to make money. It got a lot of enthusiasm, from the boys. Yes, business, we're going to make money. And girls participated, but they were timid and quiet for the first couple of weeks, where they're learning different aspects of business, finance, marketing, sales, production. The novelty wears off, and really the people who stand and take the business across the finish line are those who are really committed to it. And now it's ready, and I'm excited to be launching it on International Women's Day on March 8th. So 10 million African girls, 10 MAG is what we're calling it. So it's a campaign, and the campaign is to get as many people who are committed to this vision to contribute towards making it happen. So to the girls, I congratulate you that you have come this far, and to let you know that there's nothing stopping you from achieving your dream. Your dreams are valid. You are valid. I see you. I've been in your seat. and I know that all things are possible beyond your wildest imaginations, and that we are here to support you in achieving that dream. And so do hard things. Don't be scared. Dream big, and we'll be here to catch you in those moments that you fall, and we'll dust off your wings and let you fly again.